What is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf. Tonight's show is going to be absolutely wild, so stick around. We're going to cover all of the latest news and all of the late news. We'll be right back. All right. What is going on, my Foogles? Tonight is going to be absolutely crazy because we are going over a whole lot of news in a short amount of time. If you've never been here before, my name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Again, we actually have everything backed up that we're about to show you, including all of the articles, including the spikes in the obvious event going on around the world. We're extremely careful to try to be as unbiased as possible. We don't lean this way, we don't lean that way, or at least we don't try to do that for you guys. We believe that it is an essential task right now to at least try to not be either way. It's pretty hard right now considering everything that's going on, but it is pretty crucial. At this point, 25,000 channels in the last 9 months have actually been deleted for one reason or the other, so it's not a very safe space to be right now. Depending if you say one bad thing, then all of a sudden you're gone. We've dealt with several issues in the last few days, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. But mostly, I want to give you guys opportunity. Every single article that we have here, we give you the source, so you can then go back to it, read where it's from, what their credentials are, and where this is actually coming from, and then we end up talking about it. On top of that, just want to make clear real quick, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone who works with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. Whoa. Okay, tonight's grain of salt was incredibly evil. I apologize. Won't happen again. I am telling you that is the last time it's going to happen. Second to last. Third. You guys get the point. Either way, before we get started, we're going to introduce Dex. Dex is going to be my co-host tonight. He's also screening calls at 224-400-MARF. This is a live call-in show, so you can actually call and get in on the show. If you have a video or a picture that you've taken recently, or if you have a document or a website or even a YouTube channel you want us to take a look at, we can do that tonight. Dex, are you there, and can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So obviously we've had a few days stretch. We've had some big stuff happen in our realm. What I believe happened is that because we had military in our Discord, that they were attached to other groups that are going on right now. In fact, there's a huge thing going on where Discords all over the country are kind of being taken down for what one thing or the other. The thing is our Discord is like a completely positive space where we had disabled folks that actually had people in the event of a disaster volunteered to actually help them. We had veterans, we had all sorts. Jay Stone actually headed all sorts of different groups in there. And then we had people volunteering to do all sorts of awesome things in there. But there was a small group of people that apparently had, been doing something. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. We haven't been given a 100% reason why. Again, we don't share anything other than like our notifications. But when you have 15,000 people sharing videos, obviously not all of it's going to be, legit stuff like the entire internet. In fact, all of the internet, they've proven that like 90% of it is fake news or whatever, this and that. So if you have a platform that allows you to share video links and things like that, then that means things are going to be shared that aren't good. As far as us, we lost the entire platform because of the actions of a few. And again, these aren't even, things that we could per se moderate because they're just sharing videos and we don't have a rule book of what is okay and what's not. So again, we weren't trying to We did reach out. We asked if there was any kind of explanation. They have not gotten back to us. They gave us the original email, but it's not just us. It's a lot of different people. The funny thing is it seems like it's mostly the conservative groups that are being connected with those things, and we're not conservative group. We're not a liberal group. We're not either. In fact, we have people of both sides in here, and that's the most amazing part about this show. If this is your first time tuning in, we're gonna go over tons of news, and then we're gonna let you guys actually decide what it's about. And we grab stuff from the left, from the right, every direction, and then we put it out for you to look at. I mean, we give you the links, we give you everything at our website. In fact, if you go to marfooglenews.com, you'll see it's organized by thumbnail, which I'm gonna have to actually refresh this, but you'll see tonight's thumbnail, which is Dark City. And again, when you get to our website, you'll see it in the upper left-hand corner here. It says "In the Darkness of the Night." And when you click that, you will actually get all of the links of every story that we share. So we're not just saying something and not backing it up. We're actually giving you where it came from. And all of these are approved sources. Some would say, oh, they only do mainstream stuff. Well, yes, because mainstream is literally telling the public what is going on in the world. And then we get a chance to not just have somebody read it by themselves and go, oh, I think like this now. We actually read it out loud, and you get to see what everybody else thinks about it as well. And if somebody says, hey, I disagree with this, then they have they have the freedom to share that opinion of it. Again, now opinions are very scary things, because online you basically really can't have much of one, and it's a hard thing to do as a host. And as most of all, I'm like really hurting with you guys. Like this whole thing with the Discord, we had 50 state groups, we had groups around the country, groups in the world. We have viewers all over the world. We have over 250,000 people out there connected to the Marfoogle land, and these people were literally helping each other, doing all sorts of positive things for each other, and then all of a sudden it's just ripped from under us, and people take it for the actions of a few. Now, again, I don't know what ended up, and the thing is it might not have even happened in our thing. It might have happened in somewhere else, but somehow those were members of ours as well. You know, people are members of 15 different Discords, and if they happened to be in a one that somewhere else, basically how they wrote it out is that they're military and they claim they're active duty. We had like almost 500. So I guess, that's the requirements to get shut down, is if you have a bunch of military. That's just weird to me, but whatever. Again, I don't know and again, that might not be what happened. I don't know. But with everything said and done, we're still here. We are going to keep going as long as we can. I would definitely highly recommend you guys check out all of our links and every channel that we work with. We've got amazing mods that end up sharing the channels that kind of we associate with and we like to push. Again, this isn't like Jacob Israel is all just positivity. Prepper Nurse 1, he does all prepping videos, just kind of teaches you all this stuff, goes over questions that you would never really hear. What would happen if we had a nuke go off or whatever, and it goes over some of that stuff. Again, there's tons of great channels. There's amazing people out there, high impact, all these kind of folks that go over different opinions. So make sure to check them out as well. All right, without further ado, let's get into the news. We are going to make sure we go over this. Again, you can see all of the articles. You can see where they're from right there on the website. If you guys want to support us, it looks like we may have to do something additionally to the different platforms. We might have to do some sort of other service as far as we're going to try to... again, there's no official replacement for Discord. So if somebody says, hey, this is a group, blah, 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 come to it. People are free to start their own thing and do their own connections. But again, just remember that it's not an official Marfoogle group. It's not us running it if it's out right now and it says it is. That is literally not something we've figured out yet. We might design our own. We might have our own kind of group. That's going to end up costing money in the end if we do it. We're trying to find out if there's any lower cost ways to do it. Either way, if you guys want to support us in any different way, you guys can obviously get things from Amazon. That ends up helping us if you're sitting at home ordering everything from there. If you want to get any of the products like Nord, EMP Shield, or any of that, Details will be on that later. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for sticking with us through all of the crazy ups and downs. And you guys most people don't care about it. But it's really crazy to see that most of the Marfoogle family really does care about me, my family, and our extended family, which is the Foogle family. People from the outside, they look at this and they don't get what it is, and they just think it's so weird that all of these people are literally coming together and being positive and pushing each other up. It's really rare that we have people from the left and the right in the same room and, respectfully disagreeing, but then changing the subject and getting along. It's almost like it's 2005 or something. It's really, really wacky. Anyways, so let's keep going. First story up here. Obviously, we kind of called this, and it's purely because in the MSM they've been saying it a lot. They've been saying that this is going to come back. There's a second wave. Experts say, scientists say, WW blah 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 says that there is going to be more, and we of course said if they're telling us that straight out, then yes, we're probably going to have another wave, and we are probably going to have more lockdowns. Well, already we have seen part of the country actually re-locking down, so going backwards from where they were. We're not talking about phase 3, phase 4. We're talking about going backwards to 1.5 and 1. Especially California just had it as well. It says that a spike in Cleveland CV cases rooted in days immediately after May 30th protests and rise in social activity. So what they're saying here is after people got out and didn't wear their masks and went and protest, they ended up having all of these numbers go up. It's kind of like a common sense thing, right? At least that's what they are saying here. It says that the daily average for new CV cases peaked in May and declined until mid-June, since June 16th, when there was about 11 new cases. Based on a 7-day average, the rate has quadrupled. So we're talking about, if that's 11, so we're talking about 40 plus cases in that same period. This is what they're reporting. So therefore, you're probably going to see Cleveland have a backwards trend in lockdowns. That's just a guess. That's not fact yet. But again, right after the protests, all of them, of all of the different groups, whether secret or out in the open, they are saying that that is something that is going on right now. And then it says it did set daily records twice since Thursday. So not too many days between there and then. Now it says that Fauci warns U.S. could see 100,000 new CV cases per day. Yes, that's right, per day. It says Anthony testified to a Senate committee Tuesday that he would not be surprised, quote, air quotes, if the U.S. begins reporting as many as 100,000 new CV cases per day. And of course, now they're testing more, so a lot of people are saying it's because, well, obviously we're now finding out everybody who has it. It says, quote, I'm very concerned and not satisfied with what's going on because we're going in the wrong direction. So, of course, Mr. Anthony says that we are doing very badly. And it says the big picture, the country is currently seeing about 40,000 new cases daily. Daily. It says, but the number will rise rapidly if this does not turn around, Fauci said. And it says he added that the outbreaks in various parts of the country put, quote, the entire country at risk. And, quote, clearly we don't have this under control. So there's a lot of debate regarding that. You guys can feel free to go and read the rest of that. Of course, you can also go check out any of our previous videos or any of the videos that we've actually linked you to about this. Again, it's kind of something that we've talked about a lot, and we kind of called it a month and 2 months and even before this whole thing started. So, again, Tower Bear, what is going on? Thank you. I appreciate the Ninja Genie. Thank you guys, everybody over on DLive and YouTube that has helped the channel. Seriously, it has been extremely rough. Good news, though, we might even be teaming up with a very big creator to try to go on their website for a couple things. I'm not going to say anything yet because we don't have it all ironed out. But again, that will be pretty cool. And then some more things coming. Gone Girl 777 says CV's family of V's, most common V's on Earth. I get what you're saying. If you guys don't know what that means, please ask somebody in chat, because that's something I can't. Unicorn Forest, thank you for the lemon. I appreciate you coming tonight, and thank you. I've never seen your name before, so I appreciate having you in here. At One Adam 12, thank you for being here. Dixie Doe, we've got Renegade Petey. We've got Flamingo Hurricane, another name I've not seen before. Mrs. Wilson 2012, Stiletti, thank you guys. It says, Tower Bear says, we're in Houston. A lot of police personnel are going back to working from home again. So you actually are having the police force work from home again, huh? And then it says, Jilly J, love you, Marf, Dex, and Foogle family. Jilly J, thank you for being here again. Gone Girl 777, thank you again for your continued support. Callie Kit Kat, T Bori, Twisted Luck, Type Girl, looks like new people, says Gone Girl 777. Tucker Carlson 2020. It's funny how many times people change their names. You know, something will be popular, and within 3 hours, you'll see like 100 screen names. That's pretty awesome. Apparently, he is actually getting the best ratings out there. Dex, wasn't it? Didn't you say that he was getting like 4.3 million viewers a night or something?
In Q2, he was #1 cable news.
That's
even
insane.
With his some of the advertisers pulling out, he was still #1.
Because he had Disney, he had all sorts of people. After he ended up going up against that big group that has been doing things all over the place, and that every corporation is behind, they ended up pulling the strings on Tucker. So he lost all of his big advertising. I mean, we're talking big. And then, of course, Starbucks and others are all doing boycotts of course, Facebook. This is actually extremely surprising. So Facebook apparently is not doing enough against it. So a lot of the huge names in corporations are actually pulling their funding, all of their advertising from Facebook, because Facebook is letting stuff through. That is, I'll let you guys judge that for yourself. Pink Shadow says, love the show. Well, thank you, Pink Shadow. I haven't met you yet either. So lots of new people. Thank you. End Times, much love, Marf, and been chillin'. End Times, I always see you in chats everywhere, and honestly, you are somebody who doesn't only just bounce into one channel. I really appreciate the fact that you go to other channels and you support pretty much all of DLive. So, End Times, you really are the man. PMC 2020, Laura Griffith, Bogstown. We've got Miss Jackson 906, Bumpify. And then, of course, we've got our crew. Susan Donahue, thank you so much for being here tonight. Patricia, Comedy and Life. Nurse at ER told me today it's X-Adger-ated. The C-Bug, LOL. Thank you, Marf, Dex, and Mods. Patricia, Comedy and Life, that, again, I got to be careful on, but, you know, it depends on where you are, too. I was in the hospital in Seattle, and I heard kind of a similar sentiment, but at the same time, you know what we've got to do. Machine Opus, pray for Paula and family, husband in hospital, stay strong. So pray for Paula and family, that's a definite. Alice J, she has been with me since before I was 500 subscribers, before I even had this channel. The main channel, of course, if you guys haven't checked that out, of course, there's Marfoogle News at 156,000 subscribers. This channel was made way after that. Alice J has been there since the very beginning, and I don't know if, I think it's pretty much okay since she came out of it, but she was found in her tub after being dizzy and luckily survived. Apparently they said she ended up dying and being brought back. So I am praying for her and her daughter. Her daughter's about to get brain surgery in about a month. So again, anybody who wants to do that, everybody knows Alice J. Alice J's been a part of the Foogle fam since the Foogle fam. I mean, literally when it was Marfoogle Watutu News, before I changed the name of it. So thank you guys, and seriously, it means a lot to me that you guys do. I'm leaving Cali in 2 days for my Vegas, Colorado vacay over the 4th. Y'all think it's going to be chill for the next week or so, or the lockdown's back? Kevin Furman, I actually do think that within the next week, even the next 7 days, we're going to see some. This is just my forecast and my personal opinion, is that we are going to see at least 2 or 3 more states actually pull their lockdown and put it back into place, or at least move back half a phase or even a full phase. Again, I don't know how many states have half phases, but we had phase 1.5 and then 2. And then Remote Chris, Dr. Ramey still hyping the fear. Ramey, I don't know. Okay. Fauci still spreading. Yes, he does. Really, really happy to see you and the Foogle fam. Love again. Can't stop you now. I've got a song for that too. Anyways, Doc Bill, 2 teenagers are bang bang in Chop's autonomous zone. So again, I've got a whole chunk of crazy inside stuff from there, and I've got to be extremely careful. I don't even think I might even put it out as an article. I might even put it out as a Marfoogle alert of what I learned there. I ended up getting a full tour as just somebody who said it was my first time there, and it was pretty. I will say this: it was pretty nerve-wracking. We had people driving through the field, literally. Man, I can't even go through some of the stuff that happened. But again, I got one of the nicer guys give me a tour, and it was absolutely nuts. I even took home a cardboard sign. I've got some undercover stuff that I would like to go over on an article. I won't be going over that here. Really, really happy to see you. Thank you so much again. From Canada, says Doc Bill, says 2 teenagers are actually hit up in the autonomous zone. Dex, if we can pull that up, I don't know if that's the same one or if that's just fresh, like right now. We, of course, encourage you. If you have breaking news, let us know. And then John Raxness says the pandemic is over. It's now time for the scam-demic. John, I don't think it was ever a different thing. I don't think there were ever 2 different things. And then Missouri Wolf, holy moly, says, I miss you all. Much love. Don't give up. Keep going onward and upward. Marf, breakthrough is near. I think and then even when I was at my lowest, Dex has been super positive. It's been really hard. I'll just say that. So thank you, Missouri Wolf. And that is extremely generous. You don't have to do that. Thank you. That is incredibly, incredibly awesome of you. Thank you. Open House Texas says, swine flu pandemic, says Fauci. Are you kidding me? Much love from Texas. So I did see that there is another possible pandemic that they say is coming from swine. That is what is going into the news cycle. Of course, there was a bunch of them. New folks, as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Ruby Crystal just subscribed. Real Time, Larry Overton Sr., Matthew B., Love DS, Her How's a was a High. I think that was Her How was a High. I think that's how you say it. Sean Haug, Mallory J., Nick's Level Fitness, Ernest T. Bass. We've got Mr. Noodles. Thank you so much for subscribing. And Music Obsessed. Thank you for being here. It's nice to meet you, and welcome to the Foogle fam. Oh, Wise Owl, thank you again from Europe. I appreciate that. You've been here a long time, too. All right, so to go back into it, keep your eyes on the skies, which I think it's funny that they use that. That's exactly the same words that were tweeted by Elon Musk just a few weeks ago. It says, fireworks displays are being set off in different locations each night in New York City leading up to the Macy's 4th of July Spectacular. The city is not announcing where in order to prevent people from showing up due to the CV pandemic, but many can still enjoy the light show, CBS's 2 Alice's Gaynor reported. So what they're saying, Dex, and just to bring you in real quick, they're actually not giving the address of the actual fireworks, so nobody plans to show up. Like, they're just going to literally light off fireworks from somewhere at last minute.
Yeah, and I think I've even heard that maybe they were splitting it up over nights in different sections. But yeah, they're not announcing, at least as of what I read recently, they were not going to say where. They're just telling people look to the sky because they don't want people to congregate, unless there's other reasons why you would want to spread fireworks or not let people know where they're coming from when they go off.
Okay, well, so we talked about how it was kind of weird that there was fireworks everywhere, and we're talking about a whole month back before almost all the states had their fireworks stands. Like, we just got our first fireworks stand here. I know that maybe places in Washington have like Boom City, where you can go to, say, the reservation, and you can get some early. But then again, with the amount that has been going off for a literal month, and you don't know what they're celebrating. They could be celebrating the protest. It could be celebrating whatever. But they've been going off every night, and I thought it was crazy when it first started and how much it was, and I thought it was odd. So I looked into it, and then everybody else pointed it out too. Every state across the country, or most of all of the big ones, were lighting off huge professional-grade fireworks, and it was found out and confirmed. This isn't like, again, we showed you actual MSM that proved that there was not only a doubling, a quadrupling, a septupling and octupling. I don't know if that's a word. Octupling. 6,000 times the amount of reports in New York City. It was something like 3,000 the times of reports that they normally had. Like, we're talking about the entire same period last year, 22 reports in Boston. This year, over 6,000. New York now up to over 10,000 reports in the same period that last year had 27. How is there so much fireworks going off? How are they getting them? Is everybody going online? I know that a good amount of people go online to buy some of that kind of stuff, but not everybody knows where to get that stuff and where to get the professional grade. We're talking about professional grade fireworks. So that is what actually triggers a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of rabbit holes to go down that we can't really go down here. Probably will put out an alert. But I'm talking about, people think that this is some sort of like preparation or something, like they're all, boom, 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 and getting us used to the booms. I don't know. What I do know, though, is that the fireworks have been going off way before we even had our first stand-up. Again, maybe Boom City, but we're talking about all over the city, all over the country. And some of the places, people go, oh, it's just before 4th of July. We're talking about before even June. We're talking about, June 1st and before that. Huge fireworks. I mean, we're talking about, when you hear it, you know that is an M500, or that is something that is incredibly either illegal or professional grade. So where are they getting it all? We don't know. In fact, professionals have asked the same question. As far as this, splitting it up and like not telling people where it's going to be, that's kind of whack, though, don't you think? Because then what if you set up your lawn chair, and then you're like, boom, 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 and everything's behind you. Like, oh, crap, we need to go 2 miles over and go see it somewhere else. I guess everybody's just going to go to the highest hill and try to spin around, I guess. I don't know. Sounds weird to me, but I guess that's what they're doing. And that's it. Nobody thinks it's weird that they're not telling people where they're coming from? Again, just kind of odd. If you go, I didn't take that one out. Either way, you still can sign up for Marfoogle alerts, and this is extremely important. If there's important stuff, I'm going to make you guys a promise that on marfooglenews.com with the Marfoogle alerts, we are going to be putting out some really, really awesome we're going to be passing on some information there. We have to now. So make sure to get a hold of Marfoogle alerts. We are trying to put in another official place for all of us to do our state groups. Again, this was an extremely successful platform, at least the Discord was, because we had people that were actually helping each other. We had people that were volunteering to help people. We had people getting jobs, handyman work, electrician work, all sorts of different things. And then there was people that were actually going in there to try to get people to fill jobs. I mean, we had like a kind of a small economy in there. Again, 15,000 people in there. So we're still working on something. Again, there's no official replacement. So if somebody says they do, I will be announcing it either on my show or on my Twitter. So again, make sure you don't get fooled. Otherwise, I want to make sure you guys all know, with contact tracing as it is, a lot of people are very, nervous about it. One way you can support the show and actually protect yourself is to support the EDEC bags. So again, when you actually get one of these, which these are the best you can get, these guys have been working with DOD, with FBI. These guys literally sell these to law enforcement because these things keep out everything, all RF signals. Once you put your phone or your tablet in here, it is offline, it is off grid. It will literally instantly just close out. It's weird because if you lose signal or if you go behind somewhere or put it in something, usually it takes a second. This is instant. You put it in there, it is done. They also have the utility bag, which they've been making for 12 years. So this isn't something that just showed up overnight. Or the off-grid bag. That is like the most savage, most nice bag they make. But there's also ones with the windows in it, so you can actually still use your phone. You can still access everything that's saved online, everything that's saved offline, I guess. And again, then you can go somewhere if you're heading out the door and you don't want anybody to know, then boom, you put it in one of these. Again, that is marfooglenews.com/edec. A part of every sale goes to help our channel. We really appreciate it, but on the other hand, too, it helps our audience as well. So, with that being said, lots of stuff coming out just in general about China and about all of these other things. This is exactly what the Super Chatter was talking about a second ago. It says, new strain of flu found in China has potential to become a pandemic, scientists warn. It says scientists have identified a new strain of flu carried by pigs in China that they say has the potential to become a pandemic. The new strain is descended from a type of flu known as swine flu that emerged in 2009, causing the first global flu pandemic in 40 years. The scientists published their peer-reviewed findings in U.S. Science Journal Proceedings at the National Academy of Sciences on Monday. They also said that they have a new strain of flu, which they call G4EA-H1N1, is a variation of the swine flu and includes the G4 for genotype. That has become predominant in swine populations since 2016. So, here's the thing, though. We've had a lot of these in the past, right, Dex? This has been something that's, if it wasn't for the CV, that we probably wouldn't even pay much attention to this, or am I wrong? If you're there. Again, it seems to me like what happens is we get a lot of these every year or every 2 years or so. We find these because all the time Earth is making some sort of new concoction as far as a virus. It seems like I've heard about a lot of these that don't end up being that bad. And then some of them you hear about for maybe a year or 2 years, but then they have it contained. I don't know if that they're trying to set this up saying that it could be something like the CV, but probably not. So I know that when people see this now, they immediately think, oh my gosh, this is like the newest thing. I don't think that they are saying that it's going to be another pandemic, but who knows? That's why we cover it, and that's why we look at it. All right, let's see here. And then Seattle removes some barriers. Now, I'll just tell you, it was shrunk a little bit when I went down there 2 nights ago, and it then, of course, did not look like it was that small. The night that I went that morning, and I actually talked to somebody there, they said that at 6 a.m. that they came with front loaders and they tried to take everything down. What happened is once everybody woke up, they all woke up each other and they all ran out and they stood in, solidarity against the front loaders, and they said, you're not coming in here. They would not let them remove things, so they ended up not doing it. I guess they thought if they could get the jump on them at 6 a.m., then, whatever. But when you're sleeping right there, they're going to wake up when they hear equipment. So, in fact, right here, as this picture shows, right up this little hill, you'll see these barriers right at the top. That is basically the end of it. And there's barriers right past this tent. And then there's barriers right here. So now what actually still exists, to the best of my knowledge, and this, it might have even gotten smaller, is this tree line right here, and then up to this street, and then down to where they're standing, and then the park. I don't know if they have actually shrunk it to just the park, but the park is a huge, just a field. It's as big as a baseball field, plus the back side of the field, which they've actually turned into a garden. I don't believe that it goes past this now, whereas it used to go down this block, it used to go down this block, it used to go up that block, and it used to go down this whole block. And the one that is in front of it where it's behind where that fence is. So I think it's down to like literally 2 blocks at most, maybe plus the park. It could be even smaller than that. It could be just the park. It could be a point where they just need to basically get the people out of tents in the park. That whole situation at night was freaky because the second that I was visiting, there was 2 guys hanging out the back seat of a car. And I'm not even going to say I'm not even going to describe the guys. They're hanging out of the back of the car passenger side with their elbows on it. And then there's a guy hanging halfway out like Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura style. And they drove in past the concrete barriers above the grass onto the walking trail, then drove like past the bleachers into the field where there's tents, where there's people, where there's, little smoking circles, kind of like you would see at a festival. And they were driving in circles around it. It looked like it was going to be a drive-by, but then they ended up skirting out, and then it looked like they were looking for somebody. That's what it looked like. I did get a small clip of it. Again, the whole thing was quite an experience, and even pulling out your camera, it can be construed. I actually saw it while I was there, somebody doing it. They accused them of being with specifically Fox News. I was like, nope, I don't know if I want to be a part of that. I did get some still pictures of some stuff, and I got some video of at least 2 or 3 different things. What's even crazier is I ended up being on a stream of sorts. So we're still trying to figure that out and get a copy of that. In all, this was one heck of a commune. We'll say that. It was definitely, that's exactly what it felt like. And that's just being real, like being there. A commune with a very scary nighttime. Seattle police and other employees worked Tuesday morning to remove some of the barriers at the CHOP with heavy equipment at 10th Avenue and East Pine Street. It says, quote, "We're trying to take out some of the barriers. We said all along we were trying to open the streets," Seattle Department of Transportation Director Sam Zimbabwe said Tuesday morning in an interview streamed from the CHOP by Converge Media. Seattle Police Assistant Chief Adrian Diaz said that the barriers would be removed in incremental steps to allow traffic through. So again, they're going to take one at a time, or maybe some guy runs up in like a full ghost costume and goes, boogity, 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 and then grabs it and then runs as fast as he can the other way. Who knows? That might be what's happening, but they are concrete. So we would at least need probably 1 or 2 ghosts. Either way, I don't know what's actually happening. Maybe when they're smoking or something, they don't notice it. Just one at a time. Just take it incrementally. I don't know what's actually going on. I'm going to check out what is actually going on once again. I'm going to update kind of the progression of it. What do you guys think about this? Give me your opinion in the comments below. Christian Moore, thank you for your support. Again, you can usually write a message there. Same with Kraken Nemesis. Anna Trejos, thank you. That is incredibly awesome. Thank you for supporting the show. Doc Bill, why does everything come from China? Well, it's kind of set up. There's actually documentaries. I'll let you go look that up. But again, not the same system of kind of health standards in the streets. Sandy Stamps, God is still and will always be in control. Let him lead our way, says Sandy Stamps. Thank you again. Daryl Devine, new study says CV can spread through farts. Actually, I did see that. Time to put on a mask on your apple bottom. Got the E-Deck with the window. Awesome. Hey, Daryl, thank you for supporting us, and thank you for supporting our affiliates. That is actually really awesome. The one with the window, I don't, people go, well, what would you use without the internet? I'm like, people don't use their phones enough. Like, literally, there's a million different apps that you can do stuff on your phone without the internet. And it's actually a challenge to try to go without any kind of internet just for a day now. Isn't that crazy? Like, people, it's an addiction to people. They can't not have it. So it's almost a better thing too. Try to use your phone, and there's so many productive and cool apps to use that don't need it. It would be kind of a challenge. It's homework for everybody. Because guess what? At some point, we might not have any of that. And that's not trying to be, fear-mongering or anything else. We have real and present dangers that are there and that, they're covering out in public. They're covering it. DHS has told every single American, every single person in this country that they should have 6 months to a year of food because of a possible grid down situation. This is something that we should all be thinking about. Hit that like button, show the love, says Remote Chris. Thank you for saying it since I forgot. I appreciate that. Joseph Newhouse says, found anomaly in Fireball. See my channel. Starts at 1 minute. Thanks for sharing. Joseph Newhouse, I will. I love seeing that kind of videos. Dex, I don't know if we can try to pull up Joseph Newhouse's video. But again, anything Fireball related, please send it to us right away. That's like one of my top priorities as far as videos. That and earthquake footage. Why does everything come from there? I don't know. Let's see here. FG Not TV. Thank you for your support. Always try to write something. Say hi. I've not seen you before, so thank you for being here. The saddest thing is the politicization of this pandemic. Studies say the covers work. Some say they don't. It keeps us divided, and divided we fall. That's absolutely right, Daryl Devine. Oh, Wise Owl, thank you so much again from Europe. Make sure, again, well on the subject, to go on this there, check this out. So this is a big deal. Dex, you are in Atlanta. I definitely want to pull you in for this because you have actually heard some stuff, and some of it will probably put out an alert because of the sensitivity of this subject. But again, this officer who was the one at the Wendy's ended up getting bond, which, of course, a lot of people agree with, and then a whole lot of people do not agree with that. That in itself, with the kind of charges he's facing technically, just as a technical, those charges, they normally don't kind of grant bond, do they? I mean...
Well, actually, that's interesting that you would say that. That's just because of the way I guess it was presented. I mean, this was one of the arguments. I listened to the bond hearing today, and one of the arguments his lawyer made was like, if you don't give him bond, then you've got to not do it for everyone else that you've ever done, because there are plenty of other cases that are much more serious and severe, maybe not as high profile, right, but have different circumstances around it, that there's always bond issue, $250,000 bond here, $250,000 bond there. And, that they went through the whole litany of like, he's not a flight risk, he could have, he was actually charged and then given a time period to turn himself in, to which he did. He could have left if he wanted to leave at that time. So they went down this whole path of like, these are all the reasons why you gotta issue a bond. So they ended up giving him a $500,000 bond, and he is out now, free. Not
okay,
free,
well,
but he's got an ankle monitor.
Just because they give him a bond doesn't mean he paid for it. Did he have $500,000, or did he have to put...
No, they do a 10% thing here, just like go to a bail bondsman and you can pay for a service. There's a similar service with the Fulton County jail system.
That's still $50,000. That's still $50,000 that he might or might not have had. I'm assuming family or somebody came out with
it's public knowledge that they've raised about $200,000 for him. They've raised, just like they did for the wife of Brooks, the person who was shot.
Whoa!
And killed.
When you say they, you mean that, like, you're using they? Like, are we talking about some mysterious CIA agents? Because you just said the word they.
No, it's the actual, Webster's definition of the word they, meaning people.
Whoa, because
people they raise money for who they raise money for. So yeah, he had a couple 100,000, I think, that's been raised so far, in a various different funds. So yeah.
Oh, sorry,
he doesn't have access to it.
I just got word from my keeper. I can't talk about this. Sorry. Sorry. Continue.
All right, zipping the lip.
Handler, are you still there? So, I'm live. Sorry. I almost snorted. Sorry.
They're calling again.
For those of you who don't know, it's an inside joke. That's pretty funny. Okay. So
that means everybody doesn't know, right? Because it's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
They're all just like looking at you funny right now.
Yeah.
But then again, so like you said at the beginning of this, Adam, there was a lot of people that were wanting to see him get bond. There's a lot of people wanting to see this thing get dismissed. It
feels like you can't even say that. You can't even say that now.
And there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people. It's a very divided topic in the city. And so when this happens, there's expected to be some sort of social repercussions.
So as far as a backlash goes, if he ends up getting kind of dropped all charges, this will be, I think it would turn into some sort of revolution. But that's pretty crazy stuff there, because if he does get off completely or gets a very minimal sentence, people are going to be extremely, extremely mad. So you're in Atlanta. I almost said Florida for whatever reason. You're in Atlanta, so I'd love for you to keep us updated on this. Again, if you could actually just kind of be in charge of the whole Rolf situation, we'll come back to you again on this. It says, appearing via teleconference because of the CV, lawyers for Rolf argued that he is a native Georgian with strong ties to the community who is not at risk of fleeing or failing to show up for court and is not a danger to the community. I would have to say, though, under these circumstances, it would be crazy if we actually saw this guy like all of a sudden disappear or go into witness protection program or something because they were like, well, we're going to start you and your family over. Just the whole family disappears and they say, oh, he's just run away. Or he publicly gets charged or whatever and then secretly gets taken out somewhere else or lives in Brazil or something under a embassy name or something. Because there's big powers like fighting over all these smaller cases. It's nuts. This is like crazy stuff. But no, again, what he's being charged with, technically, what everybody was getting all up and about is because it actually has the death penalty attached to it, possibly. I mean, that's literally at the same level in Georgia. So, and they usually attach it to when they're already committing a violent crime, and then a murder is attached. That's the same charge he got. So, pretty crazy stuff that is going on right as we speak. All right, you guys, if you guys want to support us and protect yourself, again, like I said, DHS has told us all to have this. If you've been with the show for any amount of time, I've been literally telling you guys this for a year and a half, just like I told you 9 months ago about all of this stuff. Again, if they're going to put it out there, then it is definitely more of a risk than most of the public knows. As far as they've told us all of this, they've told us that it is a big danger, and now even more news is coming out about China and the potential for an EMP against the United States. By no means is this a guarantee. Again, I hope it never happens, but if it does, you can actually protect yourself against it and protect your devices, protect your car, protect everything with the same protection that DHS, DOD, and the Texas grid is using to protect their stuff. Again, EMP Shield literally works with all of those. Again, it's 100% American made, it's veteran owned, and it's all made here, so make sure to go check it out. America News. That's what we're changing our name to. marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/EMP. We actually have, funny enough to say that, I am debating somewhat of a possible name change. Not anything taking away from Marfoogle, but maybe a shortening or like, MF something, MFN or something like that. Just to, I don't know, shorten up stuff, make it more, I guess, more efficient, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna talk to the Foogle fam first. I'm actually gonna get your guys' opinion on all of it. I want to make sure that everybody can get kind of a say in it. I think that it would be stupid if I didn't ask you guys. You guys are literally so much a part of this channel, all of you, that I want to get your guys' input. I want to get my mods' input. I think mods have a huge part here. I haven't been as close to my mods as I have been in the past. It's been a really rough it's been a rough year. All of 2020. I mean, seriously, can you imagine? It is now July, Dex. It's July. And this all started happening in the beginning of the year. It's been 7 months of craziness. Absolutely nuts. Anyways, LA City Council approves first step in replacing LAPD with community responders for non-violent calls. So, if you say have your cell phone got stolen, or say your tablet got taken out of your car, community responders would show up. I guess they would be in like a t-shirt. Some guy named Jeff would be like, "Hey, dude, I'm Jeff. What got stolen? Okay, let me write it on my backpack, and we're gonna go label something, and I'll be back, man. And if I find your laptop, I'll give you a call, dude. Okay, it's Jeff, Jeooeiff. That's how they spell it, or at least how they did in 2000 when I was born." The Los Angeles City Council on Tuesday approved the first step in a plan to replace them. Los Angeles Police Department officers with community-based unarmed emergency responders for non-violent calls for service. It says, quote, "This is the dawn of a new era of public safety in Los Angeles." So this is the dawn of a new era. They are telling us, and this is going to be countrywide pretty soon here. This is my prediction, is that everywhere it's the new era, right? It's going to be community responders, and it's going to be this. I have a really strong opinion about that. That's why I'm going to keep it to myself. This is going to be everywhere in a matter of time. That is my thoughts on this. It says, "The bottom line is that the way things have been going is not working for our communities. This last month has made that crystal clear. We have a responsibility to listen to our people, and our people have spoken." So, whether it's okay, yes, that makes some sort of sense, right? If it's non-violent, if they don't need somebody to respond that is armed, for say a general theft, or somebody is calling and harassing or something like this, then yeah, somebody could come out where the I guess not the victim, but the defendant isn't there, right? Or yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. If they're not there, then have this person. But aren't they just a cop with a different name, though? I mean, isn't that just a police officer without a badge and without a gun? Or who knows? They might even have a badge, but they're unarmed. But the violent cases, I mean, what is it doing? It's just shuffling things around, it looks like. It's just, sending less armed officers out there. What if... Here's a crazy thought. What if everything hit the fan, and then now they're actually reducing the amount of just armed people in general in the country? Kind of crazy to think about. What if, yeah. Because I wonder if something really went down, or if we got invaded, or something happened from within, police could take a good side or a bad side or any kind of side, right? So they could potentially... I guess do their own kind of revolting, right? Maybe that's something that people think about. It says, "This won't solve all of our problems right away," said Wesson, "but this move marks a sea change in our city's approach to public safety, and I'm optimistic cities and counties across the nation will follow our lead. Again, with what Washington did, and they said out loud, they said this is going to be used as a model for the rest of the country. They're saying that right here. So they are saying that Los Angeles will be the model, and and they're saying it in other words, so you guys can read this exact sentence and take what you want from that. But it seems to me that this is going to be a trend, and it is going to happen. So whether you support or don't support, that's fine. But this is something that is going to be, this is history in the making. Sudden changes, just let's make decisions like this. It's crazy how much things can change in a very small amount of time. Facebook ad boycott. We were mentioning it earlier. Again, how big businesses hit pause on hate. That's how they put it on CNET. It says that Facebook has long been criticized for not doing enough to combat hate speech. It says now the outrage against the world's largest social network is growing into a movement that threatens its bottom line. Now, they have billions of dollars, right? So their bottom line is being affected by probably hundreds and hundreds of millions, but not even into the billion, right? Which will guarantee you they will notice. And will they crack? Will they say, okay, we're doing it? Or do you think that they're trying to carve out their own niche? I know that he's went through all that stuff with Cambridge Analytica, and he was the scrutiny. Now maybe he's trying to be like, I don't want to mess with it anymore. I don't want to control it. Who knows? Maybe the guy's, who knows? Maybe the guy the whole time was having, all of his underlings. Here's the thing, and I bet Dex, you would probably agree. You've seen companies grow from small to big. What if, say if you're the starter of a company, right? You start a company and then it gets so big, it starts taking its own form on, right? It's not like the original owner has 100% power, right? Because he's got tons of partners, doesn't he? As far as like shareholders and things like that.
Oh, certainly. I mean, from a startup point of view, until you go public, you're beholden to your investors and the people that have funded your business, whether that funding comes from, big investors, small investors, governmental investors, or whoever. That's who you're beholden to, right? Unless you own the majority of the company, which most startups you don't necessarily. Then when you go public, you're beholden to the largest investors that are at Wall Street.
I guess my question is because, do you get what I mean? Like, everybody has their opinion about Zuckerberg, and a lot of people say he's like a robot and he's this, and a lot of people disliked him during that whole court thing. Again, you can have whatever opinion about him you want, but all I'm saying is, what if there was a chance that he ended up, that Cambridge Analytica, all that kind of stuff kind of just got away. Like, they started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they had investors or other bosses that, didn't want. Maybe now he's trying to use his spot to not do it, or maybe what do you think the reason is behind it?
Yeah. So I don't know. I won't even call it an opinion. I'll say there's a hypothesis. There's a hypothesis here that as the social media platforms have emerged, the younger audiences are not necessarily on Facebook. And when you look at what's left on Facebook, it's a lot of a different audience than it was in the early days.
All the young people are
in
gone.
The States.
All the young people are gone off of Facebook.
And I don't want to say that if you look at the political divide of those people on Facebook, that it may swing one way or the other, but I think there's enough on one side, the side that, that he's trying not to completely obliterate his user base, because that is how they generate revenue from ads. But on the flip side, all the advertisers that spend the most money are saying, hey, we're going to put the screws to you because we're taking our, we're going to pull a month out or 2 months out, and it's going to crush you, and it will. But it will financially, and it's only short term.
70 billion.
And they've been hit so many times. They always, everybody goes, oh my gosh, Facebook stock is going to go down. It's going to go down. But then it turns around like a year later. If you'd have bought, you'd be doubling your money,
This is crazy. 70 billion a year. 70 billion. That is 1,000 million times 70. That is incredible. That is literally so many billions of dollars, and that's per year. That's just last year. I mean, the companies I was seeing 600 million a year. Like, Starbucks was being pressured to take out their 600 million a year. It's like that's just nuts. Okay, 1,000. That would be one of those billion, right? Or a good chunk of it. A couple of those would add up, but 5 billion. Even if they're making $65 billion in revenue, or even 60 or 50, how much do you need? Like, it's just incredible. And you could say that they've got a lot of high paid people and whatever else, but come on.
Well, there was a time when the entire ad markets were only in print and in TV. And then this thing called digital came along, from digital ads all the way into social media and social ads and the social platforms. They're making a huge share of that ad dollar. And, there's another big giant out there that owns one of the platforms that we're on right now that probably consumes and makes more money in advertising dollars across the entire globe. But the one thing I'll say is, just as much as, hey, they make 70 billion and these big advertisers think they're going to punish them by pulling it away, these advertisers, when they pull away, are actually hurting themselves. It's sort of like saying, we're going to turn off our own faucet, and we're just going to starve ourselves to punish you. They can't do it forever. Otherwise, they're going to hurt their own business.
Because obviously they are going to lose. Well, it's kind of like with the Tucker Carlson. All of those advertisers pulled out, and in the same 3 weeks, now Tucker Carlson is the most watched show on all of television. So it's like they pulled out, but yet then they just lost the most targeted,
and I promise you,
inefficient advertising right there.
Absolutely. And I promise you, Mike Lindell is jumping up and down on his MyPillow filled bed because he's still there and he's getting all of that ad time. He's getting it probably cheaper.
He's staying up all night. He's on the
He's just like, I love it. He's like, I've got my pillows flying everywhere right now.
Oh my gosh.
I think the guy's in Minneapolis or nearby. He's a Minnesota guy. So even better.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Oh man. The My Pillow guy, he's like the only Tucker Carlson advertisement now. It's just like Tucker Carlson, 4.3 million people watching My Pillow.
My Pillow has invested heavily on that channel. He's got this super long segments.
You're going to see Boycott My Pillow very soon. I guarantee it. Either way, Russia secretly offered Afghan militants bounties to kill troops, U.S. intelligence says. I always look at where this is coming from, but again, this is from the actual American intelligence, and it says American intelligence officials have concluded that a Russian military intelligence unit secretly offered bounties to Taliban linked militants for taking out coalition forces in Afghanistan, including targeting American troops amid the peace talks to end the long-running war there. It says, according to officials briefed on the matter, the United States concluded months ago that the Russian unit, which has been linked to assassination attempts and other covert operations, allegedly, they didn't put that there, in Europe intended to destabilize the West or take revenge on turncoats, had covertly offered rewards for successful attacks. So this is, again, why do they release some of this information? Why do you think that this even comes out? I don't get it. How did they even release that? Or did they release it on purpose? It says the intelligence finding was briefed to President T-Man, Commander-in-Chief, and the White House's National Security Council discussed the problem at an interagency meeting in late March, the official said. It says officials developed a menu of potential options, starting with making a diplomatic complaint to Moscow and demand that it stop. along with an escalating series of sanctions and other possible responses, but the White House has yet to authorize any step, the official said. An operation to incentivize the killing of American and other NATO troops would be significant and provocative escalation of what American and Afghan officials have said Russian support for the T-ban. It says, and would be the first time that the Russian spy unit was known to have orchestrated a tax on Western troops. Sorry about that. So, what do you guys think about this? Why do you think they release this kind of stuff? Where do you think it's going? There's a lot, of course, going on, and it's so hard not to try to want to say a lot of stuff right now because I showed you this 8 months ago. I said, watch. Europe, back when Theresa May, they signed all this stuff that said basically that they were going to take away a lot of their money from the Middle East, and they were putting their defense funds not from a ban or anything else. They were actually taking their money, and then they were going to put that same defense funds into a fund against China and Russia. So they specifically said that our biggest concern now is no longer these guys over here, that it's these two. And they said it publicly. They said that this is what's going on. So for years and years, people say like, oh, you know, they this and that, and they're friends behind the curtains and all that. When really it's like we're in a long-term setup for a conflict with Russia and China. Now, some may have a theory other than that, and be glad to share it. Again, people say that it's meant for us to be looking at those two. But I genuinely think that those two are in cahoots with some of the people that are on our ground, and that they are actually helping or hurting in a lot of different ways. It's kind of a confusing thing to say there. But honestly, I think that this is a long-term. They go, people that say, oh, we're about to get in a conflict or we're about to get in this thing. They say, well, why hasn't it happened? You've been saying that for a year, 2 years. Which, by the way, I haven't tried to say much, but I knew. I said I know. It's a long-term setup. It doesn't just happen. These things take years to plan. It's like they give each other heads up for this kind of stuff. But they don't give each other heads up on technology and things like this. What's going on in Space Force? This is like something is huge going on. You're talking about, we know China is literally looking at how to take our entire grid down. They've planned every which way on how to do it. Not to mention they have backdoors everywhere. And not to mention we've seen hundreds now, if not in the thousands, NERC, you're talking about power grid attacks that never get actually mentioned in the public eye. They get reported to the NERC, or they get reported to the Department of Energy, DOE, and then Department of Energy rarely ever comes out with that in the public. We saw that. I showed you the NERC report. It said 573 and only one, actually it was two, were publicized. One was a cyber attack. And one I think they couldn't avoid because it got out through other means. I'm not sure about that, but I do know that only the two were talked about. So out of 573 in the last 9 years, only two were talked about. That's kind of crazy considering we're talking about things on the grid. You're talking about anything from somebody taking a bang bang and shooting a substation, to somebody driving their car into it, to somebody hacking it, to somebody, putting something there. All of those things do not go publicized. Why? Why do you think that is? You can, of course, call in at 2244-00-MARV. Either way, I'm going to go back to the chat here. What do you guys think? Like, do you honestly, do you think that some of the stuff that's going on might be related to some of these other two countries? What do you guys think? Pagan13, what is going on? Gem, Gone Girl, pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. In Noi B, says, yep. Z-Dub, I love my 2-car EMP shields and my house EMP shield. Hey, thank you. Appreciate your support. Philbilly X, who knows? That's absolutely. Again, thank you for being over on D Live. Lady Green Eyes, LOL. China is the prob, says Playhard69. Flamingo Hurricane says we need a Bob Ross reality break. Oh my God, you just gave me a great idea. You guys, you're going to be surprised. Lisa Curry, thank you for putting our number 224400 Marf. You will get Dex at option 4. Marf, do you believe in biblical prophecy? I 100% believe in biblical prophecy. I believe we're living it. Misinformed Americans need to listen and know more news. It says, hi everyone, Rose to the Moon. Yabba Dabba, Michelle from NOLA, LOL. Let's see. Love Bob Ross, says Dolores Leba. I should do a show as Bob Ross one of these days. Says, what the crap? Can't I comment? I see your comment and I see what the crap. So I think it worked. Playhard69, Jaden's done. That's a bunch of shwillish, I think. I don't know. Let's see. Taking my Bob Ross reality spike. Oh, wait, I think I just put two things together. A Bob Ross radiation spike. That's pretty funny. Just got a happy little radiation spike. Regardless, it's the end of humanity, says someone. I didn't catch your name, sorry. Michael Onadin. After pandemics and hornets, now they have a baby shark show. Hello, Bob Ross. That be neat you be painting. Did you hear Pasadena 3 Dream Prophecy? Adam, very interesting. No, I haven't seen that. Z-Dub says if we don't rally to stop it, something will happen. Let's see here. China is the template for the world, says Sarah B. You know, that's a scary thought. How they've done their surveillance is actually something that I've heard that our government actually looks up to. As far as how well it is done, how their systems do facial recognition and automatically do all the stuff. In China, they were doing the social distancing with algorithms, and it would set it off an alert if people were too close. Absolutely crazy. You're welcome, says Cutthroat Mom. Let's see, Yosemite Sam, damn, best wife's throwing bee. And then we have Missouri Wolf. What in the world? MNN Mafia News Network. Because Google can't sense what news we can or can't view. I know you won't use it, but it's funny. Mafia News Network. I actually don't think it's that bad. Or it could be Marfoogle News Network or MNN. I've thought about that. I haven't thought about Mafia News Network. Again, I don't know if it would ever be taken seriously though, but I love it, Missouri Wolf. That is way too generous. Like I said, you don't have to do that. Again, I appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. But don't do anything you can't do. Thank you, Missouri Wolf. M&M Mafia News Network. I like it. He's world's richest man's makes $2,500 per second, or more than twice what the median U.S. workers makes in 1 week, according to Business Insider's calculations, April 1st, 2020. Doc Bill, who's the richest man? Which one? Not talking about Zuckerberg, are you? Because he's not the richest man, right? Jeff Bezos. Okay. Jeff Bezos makes $2,500 per second. Could you imagine that? Okay. Oh my gosh. You could buy a Toyota Camry, a 1999. No, I'm sorry. I mean, we're talking $2,500. You could buy a 2008 Toyota Camry every single second for an entire year. You know how many Toyota Camrys we would have on this earth? Probably a lot. I mean, you would have to do math. And that math would show you how many Toyota Camrys you would get if you were Jeff Bezos buying a Toyota Camry every second. But if you think that every 2 seconds, he could literally buy a used Hummer and really douche up the world. Think about that. Just a thought. It's kind of like just a thought. Well, that got weird. And then Shiny Future says, Gates, we will have to pay attention to the next virus. Him and his husband laugh a little after. His and his husband laugh a little after. Oh, Gates said, we will have to pay attention to the next one. Him and his husband laugh a little bit after. I guess you're saying the wife unit is more like a man unit. I guess that's what you're saying. I'm very confused. There are more of us than them, no matter who them is. Tamara Rodriguez, you're getting into them territory. Them. N95 Hero says, hoping this gets us past 2020 more quickly. Semantics are everything these days. I mean, we don't even know what is. That's actually incredibly true. And what a weird, I love that you did 2021. Trying to get past the year. That was pretty clever. You're like, you and I think one other person does the weird ones. Remote Chris says 2020 just sucks. Can we skip ahead to November 4th? I think July 4th is where the real fireworks will be. Doc Bill, do we now need to wear diapers at home now locked down and shut down? Doc Bill, I don't know. That's a horrible thought. The Kraken Nemesis says, what if the booms are meant to desensitize us? What better way to kick America in the balls than to have an event on its birthday? Don't go out this weekend. Be safe and prepared. Be vigilant. That's, of course, the Kraken Nemesis saying that as well. You have to see the alert we got to put out. Patricia, Comedy and Life says, for my praying Foogle fam, please pray for my sister. They found a tumor. Please. Thank you. Love y'all. God bless ya. Pray it. Ain't cancer. She has 5 kids. Patricia, that's so scary. I've been getting dizzy while looking up and laying down, and it's something really scary when you don't know, right? I've known now 3 people that have had tumors, and by the way, though, to be encouraging, though, all 3 of them are still fine. 2 of them have had them removed and had very little effects. The other one is a YouTuber, actually, and he is doing great recovery-wise, but at first half of his face was all wonky because of the tumor removing a part of his brain. Now he is actually doing really, really well, and he's almost back to normal after about a year. So you never know. But again, you got to think positively. We'll be all praying for you, Patricia. Backwoods Ingenuity, live free, travel light, work hard. Hoo-ah. Was that enough hoo-ah for you, or was that not enough hoo-ah? I didn't know. I never know how much hoo-ah I should be hoo-ahing, but I think it was probably not enough. Hoo-ah! Is that better? You guys be the judge. I will be doing a Twitter poll on the amount of hoo-ah I should be hoo-ahing later on. John Raxness, T.I. took over Nipsey Hussle documentary, and now he's getting death threats. Whoa, that whole Nipsey Hussle thing is really crazy. Most people here won't know about that, but it is some pretty interesting stuff. Thank you, John Raxness. I did not know that. Again, why? I get it, but I don't get it. Christian Moore, thank you so much. Anna Trejos, thank you again. Thank you for supporting us continually. The Kraken Nemesis, I appreciate you. And then Christian Moore, thank you. Let's see here. So we've got obviously a lot of things happening. Update on Florida mystery unmanned spycraft. So we got all these reports too. We actually physically had a couple people email us and say, what the heck is this thing? It says further details have emerged of the mysterious unmanned craft spotted off of Florida last, I believe this is, what was it, last week, Dex, or last night? I love that Forbes forgot to put Florida last something. Maybe they missed a word there, I think. It says we quickly We quickly realized the craft is a wave glider made by Boeing subsidiary Liquid Robotics. Now remember, this is not the mysterious drones that were flying over the Midwest, which they said even the government and the local sheriff's office, nobody knew what that was. Nobody knew where those are. Again, if you're new to this show and you're just tuning in, you have to realize just a few months ago, before this all happened, we had drones all over the country in formation flying around, thousands and thousands of witnesses, and the sheriff, the FAA, nobody knew what these things were. Nobody. And we still don't have a solid answer for it. So this comes along and they're like, hey, there's a unmanned spy craft going by, but it turns out, or they say it turns out, that it's actually one of ours, or something made by us. It says, by Boeing subsidiary Liquid Robotics and fielded by the U.S. Navy as sensor-hosting anonymous remote craft, or Shark. Yes, that's right. The curious part was all those antennas, suggesting part of what the Navy terms Shark's, quote, classified payloads conducting critical intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. I love how that's Shark, but all of that, classified payloads conducting critical intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, is just ISR. ISR. Thanks to some sharp-eyed readers, the exact system has been identified, which may tell us something about the glider's mission and what it was doing there. So before even seeing the picture, you think all of these antennas. I wonder if they're going to put like an 8-year-old kid that just adjusts them, and that's his whole job. Like, oh, we're losing the feed. Here's my impression. Little bit to the left. Yep. Yep. Nope. Can't assassinate yet. No. Tweak it. All right. No, that's channel 4. We need Sahad. Sahad Omar. Nope. That's Kelly. That's Morning with Kelly. Okay. All right. We'll just turn back around. That got weird again. Here's the picture of the dang thing. Look at this. It literally looks like the top of the Simpsons house antenna. It looks like a surfboard type, some sort of weird thing. Look at that. It's called a Shark Wave Glider, spotted off of Florida last week with Sea-Watch antenna array, Lauren Taylor. So basically, what do you think this is, Dex? It looks like it's there for subs, and I'm guessing that's what they're going to say, right?
No, I don't know that they're going to say that, but I would certainly think that that's what it is.
It says, well, the website is cagey about exactly what targets of interest are being tracked. The Florida location hints that smuggling may be involved. So I think this is there to, well, actually, think about this. So during Pearl Harbor, during an actual real thing that happened, we had no idea where these ships were. I mean, they had a whole fleet coming towards us for days, and nobody knew. If they have a ton of these out in our waters, the second anything came into our waters, they would know, right? Or at least you would think so. That would be way cheaper than having something, and if it's got a huge range, then you put one of those every, say, 100 square miles, then you've got an entire kind of, I guess, fence or perimeter that's out in the water. It sounds like that is kind of what is going to be used for, but I don't know. Of course, it's all classified. It's aerospace and defense, so we don't know. What do you guys think it's for? Do you think that this is just something that gives a minute made and put out in the water, and he's hiding behind the pole because he's camera shy? I don't know. We'll see. Either way, it looks pretty weird. Monkey survives a liver transplant from a pig in ground baking, which is where you bake pig in the ground. Groundbreaking experiment. A team of Chinese scientists have successfully transplanted organs from pigs to 3 monkeys in what could potentially prove to be a step forward in finding solutions to the global organ shortage. That's funny that China's doing this, the place that literally takes organs from whoever, and then they ended up doing this. Maybe they were like, they're going to catch us one of these days, grabbing organs from just, Jeff and Bob. So I guess we got to, figure out something else. It says footage taken out at the Zhejiang Hospital, which is run by China's Air Force Medical University, shows the expert giving a checkup on a 10-year-old male rhesus monkey. Rhesus pieces. The primate is now the longest surviving animal to have received a foreign liver through xenotransplantation, hospital director Li Zhaokang announced at a press conference. 2 other male macaques have received a kidney and a heart. All of the organs have been working perfectly inside of the receiver's bodies, according to the report. So think about that. If it's a completely different animal, heart or liver working in their body, that means that they've come up with some crazy way to do that. Think about if we had some sort of animal that has a liver that lasts 120 years, or a turtle, say a turtle that lives 120 years or something, or something that shouldn't live as long as they do, or a crocodile heart or something in a human. Crocodiles, can't they live like 200 years, something like that? Who knows? The sky's the limit on some of this crazy stuff. Some say that they shouldn't be messing with it at all, that it's playing God when they shouldn't be. What do you guys think? It is a very odd story, to say the least. It is definitely a unique one. As far as what they're doing right now, they are messing with basically life. Chance Paladin, thank you for being here. And MRSA1, thank you for gifting subscriptions out. Unicorn Forest, thank you again for being here. Let's see, Maui Racing Realtor, thank you for the lemon. Texas Rob, thank you for the lemon. Mr. Bohanan, thank you for following. It is so nice to have you in the fam. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then we've got N1 Gord 3-letter just followed. Thank you. Kelly Josie, thank you for the ice cream. We've got Auntie M, thank you for the diamond. Kahaja Fly Girl, always appreciated. Thank you so much for continued support throughout all the shows. Gone Girl 777, Grace for you too. You make me laugh, Adam. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I said that like a robot, didn't I? Not going to do it. You thought I was going to do it. Artifact, thank you, Phyllis-Nippin. A Phyllis-Nippin? A Phyllis-Nippin. A Phyllis-Nippin. I don't know if you're trying to spell psilocybin. Either way, thank you for following Phyllis-Nippin Snipin. Wesley? Snipin? Phyllis-Nippin? Artifact, Nelly14, Kim Possible. It is awesome to have you here forever. Thank you. Jen Lay Awake, thank you for being here. I hope your husband is doing well. I hope you guys are both healthy and happy. Bear Lover 92,000, I saw that you said we didn't have a show. Sorry about not updating my videos over there. I don't blame you for thinking that. Unicorn Forest, Nelly 14, Boss Dog, T Bori, Gone Girl 777, always showing up and always supporting. And mentioning, what's up with locusts coming through Brazil? Again, I've covered China, through Africa, through everywhere. It's literally biblical proportions of locusts. And people go, oh, it's whatever. This year has been absolutely nuts. This is 2020. Jimmy the Lip, thank you for stopping by, man. Just stopped by your channel. I was like, what the heck? Need to get you back up to over 1,000. If you guys haven't checked out the Jimmy the Lip channel, make sure to go over and hang out over there on YouTube. He does all sorts of, he shows all sorts of odd documentaries, some funny 80s movies, and comments. One time I watched and it was like the funniest 80s fighting movie. It was just hilarious. I don't know where you got that stuff. Foogle Fam Strong says Smart Kid 14. Thank you for being in part of the fam. Zippy Moons Raggy. Global Impact. Flawless by Christ says God's plan. God wins. Relax. Flawless, I thank you for being here for so long, and thank you guys for all sticking with me through hard times and good all the same. Gentle Moss, say hi to Sammy Lee. Hi, Sammy Lee. Hi, Sammy Lee. Sammy Lee, Sammy Lee. Angela, 1609, thank you so much for being here. All right, guys. Hexologist, what's up, dude? Thank you. Says greatest news channel on DLive. I wouldn't say greatest. I would say I'm next to some good people over here. Again, I try to push up my peers rather than poop on their face. Kahaja Fly Girl, welcome new Foogle fam members. That is awesome. Thank you. And Magnus Von Thule. By the way, if you guys see people following like President Roach and Magnus Van Thule, I love your name. Make sure to welcome them. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out, which it looks like we have a ton over on YouTube that just subscribed. Thank you, Bruno, Taxiera Wooters, Great Dane Mom. Thank you for your support. You can always write a message. Northern Tiger, 78 billion. Oh my gosh, you did not. I almost want to screenshot that. Okay, so how many Camrys could Jeff Bezos do? And she did the math. 78,840,000,000. I don't even know how to read those big of numbers. Like, who even knows how to read that? If somebody's going to be a jerk and spell it out. But that's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of Camrys per year. Holy moly. Joseph Gregory Hallett, thank you so much. All out of bubblegum. Joseph Gregory Hallett. I will look it up. Kahey. I don't even know how you did the little kahey. Kahey, Canadians. Happy Canada today. Patriots. Sound like Cha Money. Which, if you guys haven't checked him out, he's funny. Bruno Texier Welters, thank you again for being here. All right, so let's see. Bye. Okay, so if you guys are all on your computer, don't be dumb. Get a VPN and protect yourself. But not only that, get it through us. Then a small part of that goes to helping the channel. Either way, if you don't, all the Foogle family members, especially if you're associating with others and communicating with people online, even your own family, you should have a private network. You should be basically placing you somewhere else. This, once you download it, is one of the easiest things to use. You download it, you click it, it does everything for you. You can actually put yourself somewhere else. So I could actually put my IP in Sweden if I wanted to, or put it in Brazil. And it allows you to anonymize where you are. So when they try to hack, they go in and it looks like you're in Brazil. Not only that, it can actually help you get out information in an emergency. Megan actually got information out of China when she was there. And she was using a VPN. She had to, otherwise she wouldn't be able to get any of the information out that she did. Again, there's a lot of different uses for it. People even get foreign movies on Netflix by putting themselves other. But those are just the dumb reasons. Really, if you've worked your entire life for your credit score, then why the heck have somebody just get right into your computer, log your IP, and then get all of your stuff? You can get a special savings of over 70% on the best package by using the code Marfoogle. You can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. But either way, if you are in this group, you should have one. If you don't use this one, use one that is like it. Everyone should have a VPN, in my opinion. Same with Dex. We deal with lots of problems that happen that would be completely just non-existent if they had a VPN or some sort of protection. All right, Dex. We're going to go through some Twitter here. Dex, you've probably lined up some awesome calls here. Oh my gosh. This is so scary. That is Goose Wayne. He is a fellow GP on the platform. Can someone make my photo look more like this Pepe? You just need to crush it, I guess. Yeah, you just need to squeeze it a little bit. If anybody wants to take that challenge on, go ahead. Goose is, yeah. I'll just leave that there. All right, let's get the first caller on here. Let's see. We have full lines. We actually do have one line on the back end. If you have not called in yet, you would need to do that now at 224-400-MARF. You'll press option 4, and you'll actually get Dex directly if there is a line open. Again, that number is 224-400-MARF. If you've never called before, if you have pictures, video, or a website, or you just found out some crucial information, or if you have some solid info, give us a call. Summer, first-time caller, suspending children's services laws in Idaho and Seattle. What in the heck is up with this? Dex, if you want to pull her in. Let's see. Summer, you're live.
Hi, Adam.
What's going on?
Not much, just cleaning some house.
In figuratively or actually?
No, I'm actually scrubbing toilets right now.
All right. Well, in between the scrubs, what's going on with this? You're concerned about the children's services in the 2 states here? What does that mean?
So they had suspended some laws that are pretty important. Some of them are like suspension of licenses, employee and volunteer training, staff ratios, fire safety requirements, public health district inspection, bathroom facilities, so how many bathrooms they're required to have, bedroom facilities, sleeping rooms, and beds.
Why the bathroom thing? And
so they could have...
Why the bathroom thing? Especially when
right?
you only have one bathroom, you have to take people out. That would take away home daycares, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that affect it?
And so they're also suspending... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
They're also suspending visitation for children's parents or legal guardians, and also they don't have to tell you if they were transported or moved.
I am so confused. So say you have... Wait a second. Is that's not like daycare or childcare? That's like if they're in DHS or
DCYF facilities.
Why are these happening right now? What can anybody find out that, why would this be happening? And why? What is the timing? This is so confusing.
They had posted some job applications too online on Indeed and Craigslist. I saw one myself for Yakima, Washington. And supposedly they had a facility in Stevenson's, Washington for child CV quarantine centers. And they backtracked. So in their application, they had posted they're looking for basically a position for a babysitter, I would say, to watch children in these CV quarantine centers. And then when it got out, someone had posted a video, I believe on YouTube. His name is Amon Bundy. I believe he spells it AMMON and then Bundy. He had posted a video when this first happened. He's an Idaho resident. And after his video went viral, they backtracked, took down the applications, reworded them to just say basically like a normal DCYF application. And they said that an unauthorized person had posted those job listings before it was approved by whoever they get that approved by. He has some good videos on his channel where he had posted one like a month ago when it first came out and he was talking about it. And he posted a few after. He saw the job applications too, I believe. And he has information on it on his channel. But he also posted a link and the documents for Idaho's administrative bulletin board, where on May 6th of 2020, they had posted a volume that actually shows all the laws that they suspended.
So do you see what with the visitation of parents? So with this new thing that people are, I'm sure this is going to be the concern, is so all of the tracing goes into effect. People are then traced, they end up finding that, hey, you've contacted somebody. Then you're at home. They end up contact tracing. They go to your home. You only have one bathroom. Then they technically have to remove the children. This is just all that's publicly happening, right? I wonder if there's any connection between then, once they are, the visitation rights would have to technically be taken away, because otherwise they could technically go visit their kids. I don't know. I'm just throwing some crazy stuff out here. There's a lot of weird things happening at the same time. I'm very confused by all of this. But again, we'll look into this and see what's going on.
Yeah, and Seattle had posted an article when I Googled about it saying that, we're not going to take your children away, and people are being paranoid and they're under this false impression. But it's like, why are you guys posting these ads and saying these things in Idaho as far as suspending the laws? And right now, I think Governor Inslee, I believe he has it so his council meetings aren't public right now. That's something that he's doing. So you can't just go in to his public
or it's
meeting.
Not on public television as, the Channel 9, watch the meetings and things. Most of them are actually publicized, or they're on TV that nobody watches, public access or something. So I did not know that the meetings were being privated right now. That is interesting, considering how sensitive they are.
I don't really watch TV, so I've never really paid attention to those. But yeah, it's pretty weird. I just don't understand why they would be suspending all those things and then posting those ads and then backtracking, almost like the information got out and they didn't want people to know.
Yeah, no, that is extremely interesting. So I'm going to be looking into the personal stuff, because that actually hits my state. I heard about the entire thing about the some laws being suspended, but now seeing them on paper, that kind of hits home. So thank you, Summer, for calling in. I appreciate you. And since it's your first time call, I will always say this: make sure it's not your last. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted to say before you go?
Yeah, so this is in regards to the restrictions for the hospitals and stuff. You know how they're only letting certain amount of people in to the hospitals right now because of CV?
Yeah.
So my cousin is a type 1 diabetic, and he went into DKA and was without oxygen for 30 minutes. So they flew him they didn't fly him, I'm sorry. He went to the Yakima hospital and they tested him for CV and it came up negative. They didn't have enough ventilators, so they flew him to UW. And they won't let hardly anyone go in to see him. They're only allowing 2 family members at a time. I had called ahead of time and I was informed they'd call me back to let me know if there would be any issues with the amount of people I said were going to come. And I never got a call back. And so when the family showed up and only 2 people were allowed in, we were pretty upset. And then they said they were going to, after 72 hours, pull the plug if nothing has changed, because he has no brain activity right now. And so I had some words with the nurses and got hung up on a few times, kept calling. And then, I didn't really get anywhere with that.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And this is right there in, is this in the U District area?
Yeah, the University of Washington, I believe, the UW Medical Center.
Now, didn't we give back over 400 ventilators? So he had to be moved? I mean, shouldn't all places have this? Why did he had to get flown?
All right, See, and that was where I was getting really cranky about it, because he's on state insurance because he's type 1 diabetic and he isn't employed. So he's on state insurance, and I'm like, you're going to charge law-abiding, tax-paying citizens every day for him to be in that hospital, but you won't let all of us just come in, say our prayers, and, you know, say goodbye. But you want to, and then they want to test him again for COVID. So they're charging for an extra test, even though he already tested negative. So you're charging us that? Why? There's no point. And I got very flustered with the nurses, and they hung up on me a few times.
Well, and again, you know, the whole situation does not sound good. Well, I'm praying for the quick recovery and a miracle, really. It sounds like that's what you need right now.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Well, never say never. And I don't understand if you don't have insurance after 72 hours, that's not right. Maybe
right, and it's like we have a big family, you know. There's no way like we'd all be able to get in there with that amount, you know. 2 people a day. I would understand if they had like, you know, certain restrictions for times and things like that, but 2 people a day, come on.
And you're talking in 3 days if they pull the plug, so no, that means half the family can't even say goodbye, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, he has a lot of brothers and sisters. We have a big family.
You should be getting a hold of like Como, Cairo. In fact, you know that if you call Como and Cairo, those people actually answer. If you got a hold of somebody, they would put that on blast and get you all in there. I'm just saying, like, that's really messed up. They need to flex the rule at some points, especially if it's that. Either way, though, they should be trying to do some crazy stuff to get him out of that vegetative state. And 72 hours just because he doesn't have insurance. This is what's wrong with our system. This is what's wrong with our health care.
Well, I don't know if it's because he doesn't have insurance, because this has happened a few times where he's gone into DKA. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have insurance. My whole thing is you're charging taxpayers for him to be there. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to bill us to pay for his flight over, for every day he stays there, for all the whatever medicine they could be giving him. I don't know. I just thought that was ridiculous. And he might not even make it 72 hours, you know? Like, and you guys like aren't letting the family go in there. Like, it's just really heartbreaking. And I was very disappointed with the lack of empathy, communication, and professionalism they had there. The doctor that finally took my call, because the nurses, they weren't putting up with me at all. And so one of them was like, here, talk to the doctor. And I could hear her in the background because she didn't put me on hold or anything. And she's saying, just hang up on her. Just hang up on her. And the doctor was like, I'm not going to hang up on her. Why would I do that?
I'm like that. You need to, that kind of stuff has been happening. Oh my gosh. I have a lot of gripes about stuff like that. Bedside manner and things like this. It's like, you know, if you're just a POS, just don't do a job working with the public, especially customer service or anything like that. Especially, you know, that's a different story. I don't know that story. But again, I've seen it over and over again lately. Everybody's on edge, but that's no reason to be just complete jerks to every single person you deal with. That is horrible. Summer, I am praying for every situation that you are in right now, and I'm sorry. It makes me want to call and be pissed off. So I'm sure that there's a lot of people that feel the same way. Again, Como, Cairo, I would get the story out there because that may need to change for a lot of different people. Don't do it 2 per day. Maybe do it 2 at a time and do that for everybody so only a certain amount of people can come in. But there's got to be some sort of, you know, in certain circumstances where they wipe that away, because in 72 hours you can get 6 people in. And if there's 12 family members, that means like half the people don't say goodbye.
You know, like, there's so, you know, like, you can just go to the grocery store, like, it's no big deal with your family. I haven't had any issues with going in with my family, And I work with the public too. And, now we're having people come in and we're going back to pretty much, I mean, it's not necessarily normal because they want us to wear protection, but I feel like it does make people feel better because I have family members that are older with compromised immune systems and they're scared, so why not do that? If you don't even believe in it, why wouldn't you just do it to make other people feel comfortable? But then again, it's like, are we being forced to wear, it's really hard and I have a lot of feelings on it, but it just sucks. And I was just really disappointed with the nurse manager and the other nurses, and they hung up on me, like I said, a couple times. And I was flustered because that's my family member. Like, what if it was theirs? You're not going to try to call and be like, what the heck, man? Why won't you let me see my,
Well, UW medicine is not the best. Again, that's just my personal opinion with it. Thank you so much for calling in, Summer. Again, I wish you luck with all of your situations. Again, please call us back. Maybe can you give us an update in a few days? Maybe call back in 3 days or 4 days.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. I appreciate
know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be wondering what happens. So please call us back, Summer.
I will. Thank you.
All right. God bless. I genuinely mean that. I hope we can find out what actually happens. That sounds like, I mean, could you imagine that? We have a big family too. I mean, 6 people would be like me and my sisters. Can't imagine aunts and uncles and people like that visiting. Oh, man. Up next, we have Cryptic 21 Bravo. Let's see. Let people know about United Allied. Okay, let's see here. Dex, if you want to bring in Cryptic 21 Bravo.
How's it going?
What is going on? What?
You there, Marv?
Yep. I'm going to play, it looks like you have a video here. I'm not going to play the sound, though, because it could have copyrighted material in it. So I do have your verbal permission to play your video.
Yes, you do. Highly recommend you play it.
Okay, and then can you explain what we're looking at here?
I surely will. So, what I have put together is I got it from a website, and basically what you're about to see is real. It's a list compiled of screenshots, which basically goes into politics. And with these politics, they're having their own presidential election July 30th. The same way that we went off of the regular system of politics and how everything works and how everything is flowing, this to me is a shadow government. The website is actually a government type website.
Okay, but you just said government type.
If you would like to,
you just said government type.
Yes.
But
yes, because the website itself is uas.govt/agency.
Huh. Dax, I don't know if you're available, but did you get a chance to look at this? Dex, are you here?
Hey, Adam, I'm here. And no, I have not looked it over, but it does look the website itself has a lot of information on it. It looks like some sort of global initiative from somebody who's trying to organize something.
Huh.
It's news to me.
Well, again, we're going to say allegedly all of this. So what you're saying is that it looks like they're allegedly putting together some sort of their own vote for who is going to be the prez next.
No, this is the alleged president of this community, of what they have going on, not what we consider the norm.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the link to that, Adam's in the notes too, to their website. But it is something that somebody's organizing outside of are nations. It's like its own separate thing.
Weird. I've got to pull this up.
Yeah.
So, what a weird thing. By the way, if you guys want to watch along or watch on a separate device, Cryptic21 Bravo, he's at 193 subscribers. We could easily get him to 1,000 before the end of the show, if you guys feel like it. David X says, is this like fantasy football? Is that what this is getting prepared to? So they're doing like a mock-up of it? Or do you think that this is somewhat kind of almost serious to these people?
Oh, no, this is very serious. I went to the website and did more research. They are hiring for all positions that they're looking for. They're enabling you to apply for driver's license. They're enabling you to apply for passports. Yes, Secretary of Finance. I actually Googled these people and did research on the names itself. This actually exists. This was created and established May of this year.
What is this? This is going to be, I just want to be very careful with this, because this could be very well put together, super fake type thing but look at this. This is just absolutely weird. And it was just put up in May. Like, this is nuts. It says the vision of the UAS is the establishment of a worldwide sovereign nation of states, each offering its residents an unparalleled level of freedom and prosperity. What in the world is going on here? And it's called this. I don't want to say that. What? Where did you find this? And then we started buffering, of course.
Through a group connection that I do involve myself with, another group of survivalist people like ourselves, and the Foogle fam, preppers is also, and we find all types of information, and I receive emails as well from anonymous, undisclosed researchers, so to say. That right there is their own flag.
Well, and now, have you heard about
their spiel?
Okay, well, so this is sort of like how Asgardia is. They're trying to have their own sovereign nation in space. People don't take them as serious, but they're doing all this stuff supposedly, and they're talking about here down on Earth. So how would this even happen? What land would they be using? What land would they acquire? How would this work? This is like some pretty wacky stuff here.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on, man. And like I said, I applied and put everything together, utilized and did thorough research, still doing research. As you know, my background is military as well. I'm a disabled veteran. So, I still have a lot of resources still within the military that I get information shared through and sent through.
Well, I would almost like to actually talk to you off camera about some of this. It seems like this as a U.S.-based businessman, professional, Mr. Corey. This guy's a South African, or he's a congressman in this little group. That's funny because people are saying that it's like fantasy football, like they're making up their own fake government, right? But some think that this may be something preparing for the next government or something else. So again, I'm going to be extremely. They say it's almost like a fantasy football for the government, is what people are saying in the comments as far as what it looks like, right? Definitely going to be looking into this, and really good catch. I would also like to talk to you off air too. We're going to try to connect with a lot of our military members as well. Just trying to, because now
most definitely
everything is all torn apart. So, again, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go? We've got Jan right behind you.
One thing that I do want to say for everybody is pay attention, do research, do your diligence and research, debunk things that may seem odd to you. And like you say in the beginning of every show, take everything with a grain of salt. But don't get complacent in your position where you at, because there's always somebody else who could probably take it from you.
Absolutely. No, that's a perfect statement. I'm going to show your channel again. Hopefully we can go over here. Let's see here. No, we don't want that channel. Let's see here.
And I actually want to say thank you to the Foogle fam who have subscribed. Like all those subscribers came from you in the last call that I did. So I would like to say thank you to everybody.
Well, I appreciate it. And if you had any kind of use of our group, make sure tag it Marfoogle Discord and make a video about it, because I'm making a compilation like in the next 2 days. Again, you're already up to 229. Hopefully more Foogle family members are coming over. He goes into detail about this and puts together exactly what we just talked about with this United States. I don't know if this is something they don't, if they want you to know about, we're going to look into it and we're actually going to cover it. I want to know what the heck this is, and if there's a way to contact them, I'm definitely going to do so. Again, buffering started right when we talked about it. Thank you again,
yes,
Cryptic 21 Bravo.
There are ways to contact them. There are ways to contact them on the website.
All right, let's do it.
And another thing there's one more thing I also wanted to touch on that fact is the lion head, which goes into a biblical religious conversation. The seal is a lion's head. So religiously in the Bible, it talks about a lion. It speaks of a lion. It also speaks of the animal with
lion in the
which
lamb?
is shaped like a lion with wings also. So.
Well, I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you for having me again.
Cryptic 21 Bravo. We're going to send a bunch of people over. Thank you for your call.
Appreciate it. You have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you for your service. Let's see here. Yeah, if you guys, we're going to check in at the end of the show like we do every time. And we'll see how many people end up popping over. We can actually help somebody without leaving our chair. Looks like over 250 now. So went from under 200 to 250 in just a short couple minutes. Thank you guys for, look, shiny future for us says we roll strong. If you want to comment over here, comment on this one. What's up, guys? And I'll look at it later. What's up, Foogle family? And you'll actually be able to see your comment on the screen by the end of the show. I keep hearing this weird, like, it's super weird. Have any of you guys had extreme humming in your ears? It's just absolutely nuts. Okay, first off, I'm going to go to the chat real quick. We've got so many more people in here and so many new names. Thank you guys for all coming tonight. Again, welcome Unicorn Forest. Channel Jammer, anytime you need a mod, I'll be glad to help. Channel Jammer. You are definitely in the running. I don't see April Osborne, actually. It's funny, I more notice when people aren't here than when they are. Chris 2797, thank you for the Ninja Guinea. I appreciate that. Lemon Essence. And again, somebody check up, make sure she's okay. Let's see here. Sammy Lee, thank you. Thank you for being here. Again, that's awesome. MRSA1 just gave you a subscription. Again, a lot of people have been asking what a subscription is anyways. To get the Marfia badge over on DLive, either somebody can gift you one, so you can actually give it to somebody else, so they'll have the badge for a month, or you can get it them yourself. How DLive works, I think it's like $3, and most of it goes to the channel. So that is a good way to support because they take less than most others. So we do appreciate it, but it's also kind of it makes your name stick out more. With us, it's almost like everybody's got him here. So I appreciate all of you guys that have done that. Stoned Whizzer or Stoned Wiser, thank you for the lemon. T. Bori, Cutie Pie Angelica, it is nice to see you here every night. Capper85, Solar Doberman, I don't know why I like that name, that's awesome. Cutthroat Mom, we've got Jen Layawake, Joe Schmo, Lemon Essence, thank you for resubbing for 3 months. That is awesome. And now you are on a 4-month streak. That's you actually get that right away if you do that. That's cool. So when you do 3 months, you actually get colored text. So your text goes up to a different color. Sammy Lee, thank you for gifting a 1-month subscription to Green Eyed Guy. Appreciate that. Basically passing it forward. Somebody gave you one, so you gave it back out. PT Trio T. Oh my gosh. P8 Trio T. It's Patriot. So dumb. Better stop that before I get Senate in my inbox saying copyright. Gentle Moss, read about this today. It is out of Africa. I see Charlie Ward about Jasara/Nasara. I'll have to figure that out. Kahaja Fly Girl, thank you. And I definitely want to know about what's going on in the Africa realm. Read about this today. It is out of Africa. I don't know. There must be another message with that. And Gone Girl, I appreciate you. Gas Electric is here. We've got 23 Skidoo. You're so funny, Adam. Happy to see show tonight. 23 Skidoo, thank you for being here. I don't know why we keep getting the little buffer notice. It's not like my mouth is going the same speed as what I'm saying. It's not like it's delayed. The Saxon, thank you for the lemon. Appreciate it. And let's see, IRT 19. Thanks, Adam and Dex. Stay safe. Akron 1 or Archon 1. Sorry about that. Thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Ayak Star, thank you for gifting a 1-month subscription to users. And Texas Rob, thank you for picking it up. Then we have Shy the Coffee, just resubbed for 6 months. I think that's the most somebody's ever done. Shy the Coffee, thank you, and is now on a 3-month sub streak. I think you get the different colored text now. Unicorn Forest, Walk the Plank. Bear Lover 92,000. Thank you all for staying through the whole show. Zetete 78. Alice Cat 1. Make sure if you can, make sure to go over to the YouTube and thumbs up. It helps us get shared to new people. Hence all of the new people here tonight. Rico Man, thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then Shutterbug Kate, thank you for being on a 2-month sub streak. And Alice Cat, thank you as well. And then we've got Adria Lynn, I think it was saying. I think that's what it said, at least. Adria Lynn, what was that? Adria Lynn, thank you for following there. And then we have Doc Bill. What just happened here? Okay, skip frames. Oh, that's not a surprise. Joseph Newhouse, lines are full, but you have permission to play vid. Okay, cool. I'm glad you reminded me. It's not lion and lamb anymore. It's the wolf and the lamb. So that, of course, is a Mandela effect. And I was thinking about saying it, and then I was just like, lion and the lamb. That's how I saw it. I always saw a picture of a lamb and a lion. Now it's not. It's always been the wolf and the... If you look, you go physically to the thing. But there's actually still pictures of the lion and the lamb. I have it ingrained in my brain as the lion and the lamb. So I know that's pretty much... That is a Mandela effect. I think even Snafu covered it. Other people covered that. You are both highly Mandela affected. Everyone is. Look into it. No. So as I totally know what you mean. It tripped me out when J Stone and Snafu talked about it back in the day. I don't know which one of you guys got first credit on that, but they did a whole show on it, I think. BT Junker, thank you for following. Rose to the Moon, thank you for heading over to the other one and actually following. I appreciate that. Bruna Taxiera Wooters, thank you for following. All Out of Bubblegum, thank you again for being here. Okay, we've got the next caller. This should be good. And then I'm going to pull up Joseph's video because Joseph always calls in, always does something that's relating to the show. Or this time, I guess he's got a video of a fireball of some sort. So we will check that out. Dex, if you want to pull in what looks to be Miss Terry. Miss Terry.
Yep. Miss Terry, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Mystery. I like it. Miss
Hi,
Terry. Miss Terry. Mystery. I love it.
Mr. Yeah. Hello.
Okay, why is there no school?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, why is there no school or training for fact checking? That's your question tonight.
Yes. Well, you hear a lot of things on YouTube and a lot of things I'm not familiar with, and I wanted information on a particular topic, and there's no fact-checking accreditation, or I guess anybody who wants to be a fact-checker who's motivated can do so.
So you're saying that basically unqualified people are being fact-checkers?
I don't. Well, I would say people who are no more qualified than you or I.
Which we're not.
I mean,
I would just not. I don't know you very well, but I would say neither one of us, because we don't. I mean, how do you even become a fact checker? I don't understand how they do that system. It seems like they just go, "Hey, it's $16 an hour."
The examples that I was given in this debunking of a particular school of thought, they didn't support any of their statements. They would just make a contradictory statement with no supporting documentation, or be really, not really, they'd skirt around the subject and not really address the specific facts that they were.
So you're saying
false.
You're saying so when it came at them, they went pew pew skirt, and they dodged it.
Yes, and they and who about us? Oh, we're people who wanna, who care about all the damage that misinformation does on the line, and we're going to combat it. And campaigners. It just seems a little biased.
Well, okay. So welcome to 2020. And I get it. They basically John Kerry the draft on it. They're just boo, boo, boo. Fact. Just dodge the truth. I get it. As far as bias, I don't even understand how we can legally have some of the bias that we do, as far as some of the world is now ruled by the internet, and the internet is ruled by big corporations that are above the government now, because obviously they can actually control a lot of what people think, a lot of people what say, a lot of people what they feel is acceptable now. I mean, the Constitution is now underneath, and this is just an opinion, it feels like the Constitution is now under the rules or the commandments of the internet. Do you guys ever feel that way? Like the Constitution isn't the same as it was. Now it's like, oh, but doesn't matter. The Constitution says that. Facebook says otherwise. Or the general public, because of the internet, says differently.
I agree 100%. It seems like we used to have relatively free speech, and now there's things I know not to say because that's not okay. Why isn't it okay for me to say that? Well, somebody doesn't want to hear that. Somebody doesn't want me saying that to other people. That's what I think really bummed me out the other night when they, Discord, and my condolences. I really, I think because of the transition from, supportive online energy to real life tangible people groups, I think freaked too many people out because doesn't seem to be what, the social distancing and stay home and, don't interact with others.
Well, you can't go against that. And by the way, we are so full that we are for social distancing here, and everybody should abide every single law and every single suggestion, because that is the way of life, period. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Miss Terry,
and it just
Terry, we're talking about, it's basically it's not even the same world we lived in 5 years ago, let alone 2 years ago, let alone last year. We're in a different place now. It's really sad.
That the last caller was, that thing he showed about the new something that's going on.
The government.
That setting up a new government. There is an explanation out there among, the YouTube theories for that, and a couple other ones too. Evidently, there's something called a global reset, and something called Jasara and Nasara, and it's all pretty weird to watch things going, how things are playing out. It's very interesting.
Basically, you're saying
I'll stick around to see
those fringe theories, as they call them, it's almost looking like they are becoming realities. That's what you're saying. And again, allegedly becoming a reality.
Yeah, they're as a matter of fact, they're going so far now as to put their narrative together, connect dots for you, and say some really surprising things straight out.
Yeah, no pussyfooting around it. Understood.
Yeah.
Well,
and they have that new uncensored platform that they say people are going to.
Yeah, and it's run by China, right? It's Trovo, I think it is, and then Parler. Parler is where everybody's going, and then Trovo is another one I've never heard of until like last week. Well, Miss Terry, we actually have Just a Cat Mom right behind you. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
Yes, I want to say it. No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just that, together, we got to stick around to see how it ends.
I know. We're watching the end of a very crazy movie. Thank you so much for calling in, and please call in again. I love your name too. Love it. All right. Have a good night. Okay. All right. Now we've got Just a Cat Mom, and I pulled up some pictures pre-hand. Let's see here. Dex, if you want to pull in Just a Cat Mom. Do you have an opinion about this whole thing? The government, we got to look into this.
Yeah, we're gonna look into it, but I think your idea around Asgardia as a similarity, it makes sense in the sense that somebody's just trying to do the same thing. Now, I don't know, like you said, who's going to give them the land? Who's going to give them the power? How do these people just all of a sudden create something? I mean, sure, if you went and bought an island, you could start your own country, right?
I heard that the EpiPen Island is open now, but it's got kind of a bad history to it.
Yeah, cheap real estate, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but I heard.
But yeah, I don't know. The other stuff they talked about, the reset, that's been talked about quite a bit. Not the specifics around was it Nasara and Jasara, but that stuff's been going around. There's plenty out there. You can go look down those rabbit holes, and they might fold in at some point if that's what this notion is. But I still don't see how all these powerful governments just say, "Oh yeah, okay, go ahead."
Well, the one thing that I guess people are saying is it's just weird that some of the stuff that was said that was just completely nuts 5 years ago, we're almost starting to see those things kind of pop their heads up. And it's almost like either somebody's going through all the lengths to make it look like it's actually popping up, or it's actually happening and maybe those weren't fringe. You get what I'm saying? So it's just weird.
Yeah, totally. You couldn't 2 years ago, you couldn't have said that this is what's going to, what we're going through now is what. You even take CV out of the equation. 2 years ago, you couldn't have said what we're going through is what it was, especially 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You would have been like, no, it's not going to be like that. I mean, the times have changed so dramatically. And, what we're dealing with today, just 5 years ago, is such a different extreme.
What I don't get is how there's still so many skeptics, and there's so many people that if you talk to, they go, oh, okay, this guy's a cuckoo. And then it just keeps happening, and everything just keeps hitting them in the face, and they're still skeptic. They're still like, whatever, okay, Masons, sure, oh yeah, they do, okay. And there's 33 degrees of them, okay, sure. They meet in secret, they drink long time. And then all of a sudden you're starting to see the actual factual literal videos of it, and it's like, oh, okay, still doesn't exist. Let's just go la 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 and go back to sleep and censor these people.
We're being boiled in the pot. We're the frogs.
We're the Pepes.
We're the Pepes. There you go. Oof.
I guess that's a bad.
Don't
thing.
start that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not the Pepes. Don't say that. Somebody won't like it.
Can we be the Steves? Or the Chads?
We're not the Chads either.
Wow. You went there. I was going to go there first. Thanks, Chad. All right, let's bring Just a Cat Mom in. And right. I got her pictures pulled up. And then there's a video after that. So stay tuned.
Yeah, Just a Cat Mom. You are live on Marfoogle News.
Hey, Dex. Hey, Adam. Hey, Foogle fam. How you guys doing?
I love it. The energy just knocked me off my chair. Awesome. So I
used to be a radio person.
Oh, well, what are the photos about?
Okay, I'm just going to start with the little story here. Okay, I have a lot of autoimmune problems. So I have been sequestering for, I think the last time I went out was at the end of February. And so I recently went to Costco for the first time at the I want to say the last week of May. And I was just, first I noticed they had redone the store. So a lot of stuff that was in the front was fruit and stuff. And I thought that was really weird. And then I came around into the big stacks where they have all the stuff. And then I realized it was really bright. And I looked up and I just noticed the shelves were empty. And then I have been there since then, I want to say 2 or 3 more times, and it's just there is nothing there. Everything they have is on the floor. And I thought that was really crazy. And it's they haven't gotten certain things in, they haven't had Diet Pepsi of all random things in for a month and a half. And then at my grocery store, they don't have pickles and pasta and stuff. So I took some pictures of this because I wanted people to see this and be thinking about this because I think when all this stuff with the CV started, I think people were talking about supply chain distributions, and you were the ones that broke the story on ports being closed. And then my brother works in the industry. He does diesel emissions, and he was telling me about they're not getting as many trucks coming in, so there isn't as much commerce going on, and that was a while ago. So there's a few courts canceled right there.
And I'm sorry. So let me pull this up. It says so you're in California. So now again, you guys are.
Oh yeah.
Aren't you guys
I
going
live
backwards too? You're
Southern California.
You guys are locking back down though too, right?
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's like where I live is like right at the edge of San Bernardino County, like where it butts up against Los Angeles County. So it's like if I walked to Home Depot and I had to like remember to bring certain like a mask and stuff, and I wouldn't normally do that, but because of my health problems, I just do it anyways. So, but it's like there's like another county in Riverside, like the sheriff there said that he isn't going to like enforce any of this stuff, and it's just really crazy. But I think that you told us, or somebody told us, that there was our favorite like agency that starts with an S had put out a plan for quote unquote reopening that's supposed to go into 2022 that has a 4 steps. So it's following that plan. It's just going to keep like
and we're literally we're gonna be in this for another 2 years. It looks like. Which is a nut, just crazy. And then by then we might have this swine thing. So. Yeah,
so like I just wanted people to remember this, and then I sent you guys a link to a video too.
Okay, I'm pulling that up right now. So what is this video about? So what am I looking at? And then do I have
this video is called. You don't need to play it or anything. It's called The Next Big Event You Need to Prepare For. It's a interview between the urban farmer that he's up in the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia, Canada, which is ironically where my dad is from. And so I was listening to this and felt very alarmed because he was saying things about weather patterns, and like he was talking about how like fruit stands haven't been able to open this year. And it was a recent interview. It was from June 11th. And I was up there around this time last year. And I thought that was really weird because when I was up there last year, they were open. And anyways, it's an interview with him and Christian from Ice Age Farmer. And they're talking about the grand solar minimum. And if you follow Ice Age Farmer at all, like he has been covering that, and that is just something that is really, it's really serious. I mean, we're hearing certain views about the climate that are politically motivated when science shouldn't be that way, and certain ideas are put forward that maybe aren't aligning with the reality that we're living in. And it seems that we are going to be entering a time where we will have like a lot of decreased agriculture production. And I mean, Jay Inslee in your state has even done stuff to stop like fruit being harvested and stuff. So that is definitely really scary because it's going to lead to food shortages.
Yeah, this is all so I guess timely with all of some of the weirder side things that are going on, with some of the things that are being said, not only online, but some of the experts. Ice Age Farmer is somebody, I get his stuff emailed to me once every day, at least. I haven't heard so much as Urban Farmer, so I got to check him out. His channel's name is Urban Farmer Curtis Stone. He's a much bigger channel, 3 times our size. So, guys, make sure to check him out and tell them we said hi.
I'm not sure what his channel is. I just follow Ice Age Farmer, but I like this video because for those people who aren't familiar with the idea of the grand solar minimum, he gives a like really good explanation, and he gives like historical data. And one thing was really interesting in the video is, we're all wondering what Elon Musk, why he's doing all this stuff in space, why he's telling people to look at the sky and stuff. And one thing that's happening with the grand solar minimum is that it means a lot less solar radiation is going to come and hit the Earth. So it's going to be a great time to send things up in space because they're not going to have problems with that. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting, considering that's one of the things they say, well, no, humans can go out there because of this and that. And during this, there's going to be supposedly less radiation. Hence, human travel is possible. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert. again, that's why I leave it up to guys like this that study it all day and every day, so you guys can go over there and actually say hi to him.
Yeah.
Just to make clear, I am not showing this man's video because I don't have his direct permission, not because I think he's his information is too hot to handle and my CIA handlers will not allow you to watch it. Again, go over and check him out. Say hi. But some creators are just wacky.
Yeah, it's a good video. I think we need to do that because I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Now that we don't have Discord to talk to each other, I think it's very important for all of us to start prepping. And I mean, like, if I sound like kind of scared, I'm not that scared. I've just been working in my garden all day. I mean, I started planting stuff like in March. And I've just been like really upping my food production. And I live in a suburban area, so I don't have like a huge farm or anything, but I've already started bringing stuff in. And I wanted to tell people that, like, if you think this is just something that is like about the weather and stuff, like, it really isn't, because I think with all the political stuff that's going on now, there are certain groups in the past, and I'm talking about, I don't want to say any filter words or anything, but like, let's say what happened in Russia in 1917 with the Red faction and what they did to the population involved manipulating the food. So I'm really worried that that could be coming here because we have people with the same ideologies that are pushing ideas right now in terms of protest movements, if you guys know what I'm talking about.
I think you do, and we got to be very careful about that. But yeah, I think everybody understands exactly what you're saying. I appreciate your view on things, and I again, with all of the stuff that's going on right now, people need to spread out their information. They need to diversify their learning and make sure to get to as many people like this as possible, because you guys need to support everybody and anybody while they're there and learn up and soak up as much of that information as you can. Because one, we might not have internet next year. We could not have it tomorrow if something happened. But on the other end, we might not have any types of channels that have anything other than what, they allow.
Yeah, exactly. When we can't communicate is when it's going to be really bad. So just one last point for everyone, because I don't want to keep the show going on too long, but I know it's really hard for people that don't have a lot of extra money, or they think maybe prepping food storage is really hard. But I have some tips for you guys. I'm having great luck growing the 20-cent seeds that I've gotten from Walmart. They're really good. And the other thing is check your dollar stores. There's a lot of dollar stores around me, like Dollar Trees. They're kind of some of them are crappy selection, but there's one that has so much amazing food. It's just great. And then my last one is you can find a lot of great deals on canned goods, in the dented can and clearance section in your supermarkets. And they're going to be 20 cents, 30 cents, something like that. So I've been every time I go out, I get that stuff and just put it away. So I hope you guys stay safe and just prepare and be ready for anything.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much. Amazing call. Thank you so much. And you're such a sweetheart. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I appreciate you, and please.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate everything you do as a journalist and somebody that's involved in film production and stuff. You guys do so much. I know what goes into it.
Well, thank you. That is appreciated. A lot of people don't. There's a few out there. I know my production camera people and stuff like that. Gem, I know, does videography and things like that. There's a few that understand what actually goes into it. So appreciate it. You have a wonderful night. And
yeah, I know my life. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no. I mean, I used to be a film student, but this has totally thrown that to a loop. So
you're not the one. Oh, the last caller was local. You are in California, unfortunately. I need somebody who is good with cameras and good with film. I need a film student that's local. That's what I need. So
I'm sorry. I mean, if you need anything in California, I mean, I have a degree in English and I have a screenwriting, and I'm almost taking some directing classes. So.
Well, I might be down there. My sister lives almost in San Bernardino, so I might need some temporary help when I'm down there.
Oh, that's where I live.
Yeah. No, she's right right off of the other side of the border. So, or not border, city border. You know what I mean. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
Again, just a cat mom.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
I want to show you guys what kind of what I've been doing. This is, again, another way of doing stuff. Suzanne, thank you, says, very good video. Watch it. Saw it on IA Farmer. Saw it on very good video. Watch it. Saw it on IA Farmer. Speaking about the one, Ice Age Farmer. Okay. Got it. Susan talking about that video that she just suggested. Of course, Ice Age Farmer gave him a shout out. It looks like that gentleman's a big channel as well. So, you know, people don't get that big without putting in a lot of work. Christian Moore says, love y'all, Foogle fam. Joseph Newhouse, thank you for super chatting. You didn't have to do that either. Again, but then sometimes it's like, thank you. I guess it's kind of like a thank you, I guess. I don't know. Either way, we would have shown your video. Because, again, we're probably going to go back to that. I didn't get to really investigate that. You should call in tomorrow, Joseph, and explain it, because I always like to have you call in. Teresa Wrench, good to see y'all. I always enjoy your show. Much love and stay safe, says Teresa Wrench. Walter Bishop, thank you for following. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout-out. Suez, again, thank you for your support. Let's see here. And then over on D-Live. What is going on here? That was weird. How long was it on that? I have no idea. How did it even do that? I don't know. Dex, was it on that screen for like a minute? I don't know.
Adam, I wasn't looking at your screen. I apologize. I don't know.
You unscreen looker?
Yep.
That's what you get. I want to show something. I want to show you guys my little plant. This is so cool. Dex, if you want to talk for a second, I'm going to be right back. And what I'm going to put something on the screen so they have something to look at. Let's see here. Website. Can you please just talk about the last 4 callers and what you thought of those? And then I'll be right back. I'm going to grab I want to show you guys what I've been doing. So.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Thanks, Adam. So, my first thought was on the supply and food chain, food supply, and the supply chain management that's going on there. And the pictures, I was sort of shocked to see those pictures. Personally, I have not been back to Costco. It's probably been at least 2 months now since I went to Costco. We've been living off of our local grocer. So I haven't seen this. I'm kind of curious if other people are still seeing, the upper shelves or all of the, it looks like anything that's not on the floor is just pretty much empty. And this particular Costco where the caller, just a cat mom, was calling from. It'd be interesting to know if other people are seeing that. We're obviously not at the point where everybody's standing in line in front of Costco, or maybe they are if they're limiting the number of people to get in the door due to the CV. But it would be interesting to see, if things have improved or if they're getting worse. I'm going to go check mine out. We're about at that time where we make a Costco run. So I'll definitely be looking into that. I definitely think there's something to be said about paying attention to what does happen with the sun, specifically the notion of the phases of the sun and whether or not it produces change to our environment. And I'm certain it does. With the sun, if the sun was putting off more radiation, it's going to be hotter. If it's putting off less, it's going to be cooler. That's just scientific fact. And the fact that they study that in cycles is a really interesting thing. So.
Dex. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. So this is super cool. Okay. So I thought these things, and most people probably already know all about these, but they're planners, right? And I forget what they're called, but they come with pre-dirt. But here's a money saver. I think it was like $20. It might have even been like $11. I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't much, right? But I have reused several of these after making seeds. So I'll just put normal soil or I'll get one of those bulk bags of soil. And you can germinate, I guess germinate, or you can basically do your seeds. One thing that sucks this batch is I did all of the seeds and I put it on the deck when it was sunny. And what ended up happening is the deck shook and it fell over and it went upside down and all of them came out before they started budding. So I have all of these seeds and all of these different plants. And the only way that I can tell what some of them are, one, because I'm not an expert, is some of them actually have like the seeds on the end of the leaves. If you've ever grown before, you'll actually see like the seed. See this one, actually, this one has the seed at the very end. In fact, I think I can zoom in. So like say this one, right? This one, it actually has the seed that just kind of fell off there. So that I know is pumpkin, right? I think that's pumpkin. That's the only way I know that that's a freaking pumpkin plant. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait until they start growing. But the coolest part about these is that you can grow, and it's very easy to grow the beginning of the plants. And then when they get further along, you can just put them in the yard. Which, again, people are real deal growing right now. People that never do it, and I highly suggest it. If you are in this, these are good for starting it, and you can get stuff for apartments. You can get grow lights that aren't expensive. Like regular, just some lights can do it. But I mean, literally, you can get the actual grow lights, LED grow lights, for not expensive at all. When you consider that you can actually grow your own food, grow vegetables, do all that kind of stuff, even in an apartment, that's a huge deal. And people need to start looking into this. This is what anybody who has a source, anybody that has a friend in the military, or anybody who has somebody in the know, this is what they're doing, and there's a reason. We don't know when it's going to happen. That's the only thing. We don't know what's going on. So I hope all of you guys are prepared. Again, you guys, that's why we end up doing what we do. Don't need it that close. All right. With
Adam,
that, what?
Did you say earlier you don't want seeds in your buds?
Seeds in my buds. Stoner joke.
And then you start talking about grow lights, and I'm just thinking, man, there's a double entendre on this entire micro indoor farming.
Yeah. But don't want to be rated, so gotta keep the klepto. Good
show, brother.
All right, hey,
much love.
You have a klepto night, okay? Because it's officially time for. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. Where's the button for the outro? Don't know. Thank you all for coming tonight. Special shout out to Teresa Wrench, Walter Bishop, Joseph Newhouse, Swez, B.T. Junker. I appreciate you all. I'm going to be shouting out on much more names. If you're new here, this is where, if you pop up in chat, I try to throw you in a rap or a song or whatever. Changing mics over, it's mic change time, so it might pop and lock like Spock. Rose to the moon, Bruno Taxiera Wouters, thank you for coming tonight. I'm going to pop over to D-Live and thank a bunch of you as well. Don't worry. It's all gonna be here. Never did I go back around. It's a dark city now. We're gonna stop this up and we're gonna hit it up different style. Something you never heard before. Let's hit it. Since we had some style, so let's go throw some down. It's been a while since we had some style, so let's go throw some down. Gotta go hit it bad. Gotta love it like that. I've got woes. I've got woes to the moon. I've got Bruno Taxiero. Waters in the walks away. Gonna bring it back now, I say. Joseph Newhouse and Doc Bill. Shine a future for you as Doc Bill and the rest. Missouri Wolf and yes. Hey, thank you for being so great. Like a Great Dane Mom, Northern Tiger, all out of bubble gum. All out of bubble gum. All out of bubble gum. Everybody wanna say what we do with Remo, Chris, and N95 Hero. N95 Hero. Tamara Rodriguez. Tamara Rodriguez and the cracking nemesis. Gotta warm up and yes to this. Backwards ingenuity. Live free, travel light, work hard. Hoo-ah, hoo-ah, hoo-ah. Again, was that the proper amount of hoo-ah? Please put it in the Twitter vote after the show. It's taken me a long time to go find all the chat and all them minds. Wondering if this is okay. It doesn't matter, cause this is what I say. La 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 la. We're gonna delete this one and bring it back now. I'm gonna pick a random name. I just wanna go N95 Hero. N95 Hero. Do-ba-do-do-do. N95 Hero. Do-ba-do-do-do. N95 Hero. Do-ba-do-do-do. N95 Hero. Do-do-do-do-do-do. N95 Hero. Do-do-do-do-do-do. N95 Hero. Do-do-do-do-do-do. N95 I screwed up. Do-do-do-do-do-do. N95 I screwed up. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Who'll be stopping my music? What you doing out there?
Let's see if this works. Let's.
No, that's not it.
Got the Kraken Nemesis in the house. Thank you all for supporting tonight, and I really appreciate all of the names here, like M. Menching, that Chowky gal, and we've got, of course, Davy Crockett. I've got Cab of Alamos, yeah. Gotta bring it down, and you know, Lock and the rest of them. Gotta get the lady green eyes and man. Gotta get the checker wall lucky ticket. Gotta bring it back now, go. Check it on it, okay, okay, okay. Gonna bring it like okay, okay. Gonna bring it like an okay, okay. With the Watchman 1938. Melody, melody. Going back around and a rose to the moon. Deep body lock and the rest of the boys. Going back around and now they're toy. Hey, Chrissy 2007 on the Q-tip. High Angelica, Cheryl from Dayton. Gonna go back now, you saying. Doing everything that you used to doing. And mention, got a Carolyn Lowe. Yabba dabba and everybody already know. With the Phil, Billy X, David Crockett. Rose to the moon and over pocket. Going back now with the deep and a locket. Going back round and a shove it in the pocket. Adrian Lynn with the nuclear war. Never go back round, never a whore. Oh, hey, nom 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 ho. Nom 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 ho. Nom 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 ho. Bow, dabba dum dum dum, 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 bow, dabba dum dum dum. I got love Beagles, going back, Shutterbug, Kate, and the Regals, going doing it, everybody, you but girl, wanna bring it on, stand for love, hey. Mama num 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 num, mama num 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 num, mama num 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 num
Like a crack fiend, never get no vaccine.
No, can't do that one. Technical difficulties up in the house. I've got the motivator. I've done it every single day. Some sister in the way that we never had they. Back in the day with the Jesse the Kid and the melody. With the Russell King, gotta bring it back now. We know. Who's king, I've got to say. Grateful Osmond and the rest they say. It's that Texas Robin, everybody went that way. You've got to say everything that you do. Bring it right back and it's comebacks to you. I love the way we all be friends when they take it from us and you know it never ends. Zanado 19, Phil Billy X, tall drink of water, sting bait, tinfoil hat, haven't seen you in a minute, scan family 5, where's number 431? I don't get it. Got the deep body lock, never going back, never walking anywhere else. Oh, when is I play? Alice J. When is I play? Alice J's daughter. When is I play? Oh, when is I play? Cheap boy, Rosamunda, gotta bring it, doing on now. I'm gonna go back and hit 420 somewhere, sit for at least 84 at a coffee shop. They took us down and we get up again. They took us down and we get up again. They took us down and we get up again. Discord. There is a message and we're gonna send. They took us down and we get up again. There is a message and we're gonna send. They took us messages that we fight, going back around. Na 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 na. Do you hear it? Is a roll. I don't know why. What in the heck is going on here? I think it's that. Rose to the moon and we'll never let it go. We can send our message and they'll let us flow. 'Cause they can take all of our discourse down, but they won't take the flag from my mound. We get up again. They took us down and we get up again. They took us down and we get up again. There is a message and we're gonna send. Well, they can take us down, but we're coming back now more than ever. I don't know why, but something is fishy about all of this happening now. They took us down and we get up again. There is a message and we're gonna send. I think something's wrong. I think something's up with this. And you're witnessing it right now. Oh, I think I figured it out. Now we gotta spit that hot fire. Now you gotta hit the spot fire. Go back round in its own desire. T-Bori, Angela, M-Chop Money. Going back round, it just ain't funny. Nameless blocking all the rest of you. Melody and Jilly J too. Maybe instead of Discord, says the rest of us, and now they won't be calling us no more. It's Texas Rob 49 and Dixie Doe. Now you can be a Dixie, now they're just the Chixies. I'm gonna bring it back now with that girl, oh girl. Gotta feel Billy X, Angela, Amanda World. Gonna do it back like the Jennifer Mifflin. Going back round, now I'm getting on sniffling. Oh no, now I got the COVID. Now I got the COVID, going back a little bit. Oh no, I'm not being morbid. Oh now I've got that COVID. Going back round, I'm not being morbid. I'm sniffling, coughing now. I've got that COVID, not being morbid. Now I'm trying to find a hit though. Trying to find something catchy, retchy. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm sniffling, coughing, got a little bit of that stuff, but it ain't no COVID. I'm sniffling, coughing, but it ain't none of that more COVID. I'm sniffling, coughing, going back around now. It's not gonna be more. I'm sniffling, coughing, but it ain't. Maybe something like that. I'm coming up with it. So we come up with it together, folks. Sniffing, coughing, never gonna go back. Walking, talking, doing everything. It's not gonna be that cold. We're roving, going back and round and roaming. Now we're roaming with that COVID. Now I'm coughing, sniffling, whipping. Oh, I'm about to go tripping, dipping. Oh, I'm just sniffling, just a coughing, never going walking. Hey, hey, hey. Da 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 da. I'm just sniffing, coughing, coming back, walking, doing everything I'm doing but talking. I'm coughing, sniffling, coughing, coming back, walking. I'm sniffing, coughing, never walking, going back round and walking. Go back down to the days of the walking, different, the Beagles and the T-Bori and the mask-off requests coming from left to right. If you know what is good for you. If you know what is good for you, you'll walk down the street with that mask covering you. 'Cause you never know what is gonna hit you. In that nostril area, it might be a stereo. But if it's not, then you aren't gonna be alive no more. Hey, you better hide under your damn house. Gonna go hiding till I can get out. Hey, Minionator and the Gone Girl 7-7 wakey wakey. Gonna push snooze again and take it. I like the lucky tiggy do and not your money. Bring it back down and you think it's all so funny. You guys want to talk? Oh, you want that? Sniffing and coughing in public. Now I'm in the coffin, I'm in the camp, going in the public. Oh, now you gotta go back and walk in, doing it like Dark City and I'm coughing. If you sniffled and coughed in public, end up in my about to be in running. About to do it like a Dark City nunnin'. About to go back to the right. I'm about to be the survivor living of the snap, food snaps, and the melody. I'm about to repeat with the Philly X and the nameless block with the road to the moon. Chop money, gotta bring me down. Hey, Lindsay, and you gotta speed it up now. Gonna do it just like this. About to go back round, and you know this. Chop puffin' in that chairs, Texas robbing everybody's ass. Gonna bring back now like Shastina. Gonna back round like I'm up Malpina. More fool's gold and off of Legina. More fader and the rest of the. Gonna go back like the up farm. Gonna do it now on no harm. Nameless block, never going back block. Oh, cock, and then bring it right back like a Dixie dough. Never got cable go back like flow. Tall drink of water, never get it later. Go and bring it out and fixing the love cue. Do what I do and the sample love. Style on the rock and the big apple.
Mask off, be a bad mascot, take the mask off. 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 We'll be on the pandemic. We'll be on the pandemic.
Got the awful him, got the TC Rob and the rest of them. I'm gonna hit it live like a D live, going back round. Now we ride with the 21838. Thank you for following. Coming back round now, I'm shallowing with the DVD lock and the gem. I'm gonna do it just like that. Them. I'm about to bring up that cowbell. If I can with the no and a no hell. With the M and Shing and the girl and the K Kelly Medford and the roll. Gotta bring it back now. Do it down. I'ma do it down. Something is up with this, man. I'm telling you, my sound is up. Maybe it's my ears. I don't know. Gotta bring it just like you never did. Coming right back and they never will. Gonna do that like you never did. And you bring it right back and you filter it in. Miss Sora Wolf and Elisa Carey. Gonna bring it back and it's getting pretty hairy. And the Summer Sister in Christ doing it like this. Oh, so nice. And the Chrissy on this. And the Flawless by Christ with the Jennifer Mifflin that is with the Stormer 1 Flip. And they're gonna bring it back like you never did here. Bring it down now, Jim, no fear. With the end times, thank you for being here. Hey, thanks for stopping. I don't ear in the storm, Raven. Woman. Mega running out, cleaving. I'm about to bring it back and now shaving. With the Mark Vader, Angela M, and the Jonathan Esparza, and everybody knows ya. Hot Wired Barb. Love you.
Only news I use, Marfoogle news. Wrong, looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Marfoogle news, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle news, Marfoogle news, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle news.
I've got to go back to now. Nameless blocking up black cow. Doesn't really matter, chop money now. Singing my song when I walk it now. Alisa C, you've got to be the craziest 2% more. Gotta do everything that they tell you.
With the Shutterbug K and the rest of you. Going right back and I got the flu. Not that slime, but it's a fine time. And I'm just gonna do what I do. Everybody really want a psycho. Everybody really want a fighter. But the M to the lightning arf, and I'm gonna bring it back round and carve. I'm gonna find that cowbell now. And I've got to go and search it down. And I'll be right, I'll back around. Da-ba-da-da-da-ba-da. Da-ba-da-da-da-ba-da. Da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ah, there we go. I've got the way. I love the Beagles, go and say. I've got multiple cowbells here. Let's do 16 levels of cowbells. Ah, I think that sucks. Let's go. Ah, I think it's a little bit. There's your cowbell allowance for the week. I hope you guys had a great time tonight. I hope you had fun, and I hope you learned something. If not, then I don't know what you're doing here. What happened? Why are you guys still here? That's so weird. You guys actually stay this long? Weirdos. That's the Foogle fam for you.
Comes out, you will know the truth. When it all comes out, you will know the truth. When it all comes out, you will know the truth. When it
Everybody know the song for you. Got the I'm a Warrior and the rest of two. Marfoogle, Cutie, Angelica with the Dixie Dough. Everybody knows y'all with the girl, and I love the Beagles and the snafu snaps. And who gives a crap about anybody but The Marfoogle fam in the enchanted bayou. Oh damn, with the deep at a log with the Foogle fan, bringing him right back. Gotta put a log on my bike. Now my bike is gone. Don't have a bike, and now I don't have to do it. I gotta walk, and I gotta go back with the vision to love you. Doing what you do when you love you. 10 peacocks, gotta take a walk because yeah, I just told you I got no bike. Child money, get it home, back on down the low. Gotta be back now, all with the rap man. Oh, I'm about to do it just like a jam. Gotta bring it back like I say, oh, damn. LOL, that's really and I'm really on. I'm going back round and I really go down. I just wanna go back now and everybody say, oh, John Bella did now. Lucky ticket toe. I said, lucky ticket toe. Lucky ticket toe.
All the way down, and it's so painful. I just want to go where I can't go, and it's so painful. I just want to fly all the way down, and you know why. I just want to go where I can't go, and it's so painful. La 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 la. Got the EJ, gotta go back. Yes, I do it just like that. Gotta hit it out, get it out, dude. Hey EJ, I'm always the DJ. When you wanna bring it back with the Marflow, Texas Robin, everybody got that hot go. Gonna bring it back now, I Chaco. Do it every day, it's off for the top of the dome, and it's called the Shout Show, and you already know. Rose to the moon and the stamper low, and the love with the bringing it all for him. And the la la la, I said a la la la. I've got everybody on that same old tier with the Michelle Firestone. And the Storm Raven with the yabba dabba sexy. Gonna bring back and you gotta go check me. Oscar top on Taz. Gonna bring it back and I got that rap. Enchanted by you, gotta do it by you. I'm about to go back by you. Like I did when we never won the us, so we won. DJ, gotta be a DJ. Every night, hi, I'm gonna say it's alright. And we gotta go, Gun Girl gotta go. And we say, Bear Lover 90 Tuesday. And I'm gonna go down on the Tuesday. Bring it back like Bert and Ernie. Gotta see everything that you can. Gotta do it just like that. With the Missouri Rough and the rest, everybody knows it's all gonna come down to this. You've gotta go back in this. It's gonna end just like it did in 2022. Oh, 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 oh. Da-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da. Da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da. Whitetail 7, haven't seen you in a minute. What is going on? I love Beagles. What is going on? Gone Girl, CJ Blaze, Tacoma Nurse. I love it. Local. Give me that. Oh, all for him. EJ, Adam, A.K. Marf, nominee for Oscars Music Awards. I don't think I'm there. Maybe if I writ something down for once. Stamp of love, going back. Everyone, what was that? Gotta do, yeah, okay. Shaky shot, going back. Christy High, knowing that. All for him, not for that. Gonna bring, like that. It's tall and black, it's tall and white. Tall and that, Johnny that. Gonna do it like that. Got to go. Since Paladin and the Doctor, Savage haven't got that till they take out the heaven. I'd vote for you in the smash if you haven't. Gonna bring it back with the passion from heaven. Gonna bring it back like you know we jamming. Gonna do it back and you know we jamming. It's all freestyle like Survivor. Living on the back of the back and rival. Gonna be back and we got no nemesis. Nobody is this alike of this. And no New York to stay and go and bring it back and down and wait. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Have a good night, y'all. The Redcoats are coming, apparently, compared to the History Lady. I just want to say thank you to my top supporters tonight. I appreciate all of you. I want to say a special supporter to all time. That would be Susan Donahue. Of course, we've got Amy R. as number 1 of all time, End Times as number 2 of all times. End times. I mean, like he's ending the times of all times. And then we've got Gone Girl 77777, and then we've got Carol Palmer 5122, and then we've got the Damon Draco as well. And then we've got Techno Gypsy as number uno for this month, though. And then we've got Goner Girlo for the Worldo, N95 Hero for the Wero, and then we've got Riga Ray Raleigh in North Carolina. We've got Smart Kid 14. Thank you all for being on this month's top list. And then, of course, this month, this stream, Techno Gypsy, holy moly, I'm going to be doing special shout-outs all tomorrow because I had no idea that you were even doing that. Holy moly, cooly wooly. Techno Gypsy, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how I missed that. But either way, I'll be shouting you out all tomorrow's show as well. Gone Girl 777, N95 Hero, and Wrecka Rally, and Smart Kid 14. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful night. Love ya. Char-D says, is that the Tiger King? Oh, you did not. That's a shame. You know that man is in torture. And on his fourth husband. Carolyn Lowe, birthday is today and mine is Friday. Holy Maury, Missouri. Missouri Wolf, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your unnecessary support, but it is absolutely warranted and so absolutely appreciated. Suzanne, very good video. Watch It's All on AI. Christian Moore, Joseph Newhouse. We've got the Walter Bishop, the Joseph Newhouse, the Swez, the BT Junker, and the Rose to the Moon, the Bruno Taxier, Wotoos, Northern Tigers. Almost said something bad there on accident. Shining future for us, and the Doc Bill, the Tamara Rodriguez. Can you say that anymore? Rodriguez? I think that's just a name. Remote Chris, Doc Bill, the Kraken Nemesis. I don't know if you can say any of this. Backwards Ingenuity, John Raxness, that sounds like a swear word. Christian Moore, Sandy Stamps, Daryl Devine, Remote Chris, NFG, Not TV, Oh Wise Al, Daryl Devine, Music Obsessed, Kevin Furman, Patricia, Comedy of Life, Oshana Opus, Remote Chris. Really? Open House, Texas, another shout out for Missouri Wolf, and then of course the Ruby Crystal, Real Time, Larry Overton Sr. Thank you all for following. You guys are absolutely amazing. You are what makes the show the best. The mess and the best. Love ya. Be safe, be prepared, and I'm hosting whoever the heck I can find. Don't even know who it's gonna be. I really don't this time. Let's look it up together. Who's that on the YouTubes? There you go, on the D-Labs. Looks like we've got the... I see it. My best buddy over there. I know who we're hosting here. Let's see there.